become stammerers and they start stammering, you know they are lying. Somebody who can speak like AK-47. Suddenly media encounter, I think, money here is the person started stammering, and you can't tell the head or tail. The fundamentals are weak, and then he went logoligi. And so you must do things with truthful intention. And the basic principle of leadership is truth and honesty. If you want
the basic principle of leadership is truth and honesty. Fa no kredia ya wadwuma. Wode no kredia ya wadwuma. Obi abehunu ne woka. Obi abenya ne ntiase e wonsem na woka no. Benam etro ne nada ne yenye bibi ne yembontia ye yonko ne adwenbone a mode atira opposition di bewura aban mu na sa brempo amokọ no monhwe so nkomo ba bia moda so di adwenbone nam nti. Onse mo amkasa mo fidi ayi mo. Obi a wakasa smooth ratatatata. Na di atro no ne yanga so obi kasa na no foma eye enfomso bi a wose yesro. No, the point that John Mahama making and say what here ba umi asa say fundamentals na eye week na ye den na exchange rate no edru ba bia edru na woni nam won sa wo asem na wo kan wonte di o kan ase echechemu ne emwaye a wode mansantwefo na no Ghana fo me say amiya behunu ensoso ye da nsuo ene nsantem ababoa ma elections no eni ada ho e ba bia wo say Ghana fo ko. No, Fatoto, President Mahama, the media and can wide. They say, a man for Benya, what they say, it's way na per se, when Mahama ye debate, wait. Sad ye. And what yene Casana ye bunto to Sansan, Metchets and be more trouble. What yene Casana, Bibia Daddy Professor, principles of one Casa Wajina Mano, one need to deal with Wakasam back on there within few seconds. No asesana no eti uhunu baby aba umi agina meche oni Jamaica sa asem we and asem we obi a wote asante mamu a asem ya makan mesraw eduru tonton sansan bra tweba afidie no bi be kirekire mu ye with evidence ye ti America sa no wo mu ne ani die ne obuo ma asante man eti na nemputuo aba asante man. And I'll tell you why I am saying this morning. In fact, woman your margin so mobile be bibi papa bia and your mass anteman. Trust me. Be abaho. Pasabre bracho, ye dia good yabusam, ebrema na good yabusam lemon green and a tuntum black vest. Why crowd Roger Emmanuel the sports monarch. And a passe one on a debra what hello Roger.
Hello, good morning,
Hello, Roger.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Na bibi aboko dia.
Bibi aboko Wednesday midweek.
Ye dia swaya.
Dia swaya to Monday.
Ratatata.
Ba se wo de wo pododo de.
Oh, da be pododo ai de.
One answer questions I won't pododo.
Oh, da be. Busam bibia. Wo de busam bibi sisi ai. Wo de busam me.
We say dia na me bisa we yiba no wa pododo e see ba.
Simple. Evidence what you actually. You go explain tire.
They like ka hone man so.
Anyway, at the end of course no pay.
Come some doors e wa pa na no pay my tifo nyina che mo bibi akwaba mna so se e wo se etena se na fia gure wo some e papa no ina no pay no ye di ensem no nyina so di bron some doors wo chena oni me say you for Champions League draw ka se na betimi aba so ye we hwe na fia de ho some de ba no games kakra so eto jawa mononia ye de ho some e ba oni me say you for Champions League games no qualify se the games because ho some e ba fi some no say doors enra Ashanti God supporters eko people pram DNT and e call pram ye be hwe se na City na fe e Ghana Football Association ɔno congress no so aba no wie na key takeaways a ɛno sɛ course ɛwɔ congress no ase no yɛbɛhwɛ no afei de ho nsɛm de ba wonim sɛ Ghana Football Association FA president ɛde nsɛm ahodoɔ ɛde to dwa na afei owura Yakubu ɔno so de nsɛm ahodoɔ ɛde to dwa other clubs de bɛkɔ ma sɛ Kumasi Asante de kɔ a transfer player baako ɛde kɔ Spanish La Liga no mu player bɛn ɛna mo a transfer no ɛde kɔ La Liga no ho nsɛm nyina no ɛna no pe yɛatena ase no yɛde ho nsɛm ɛprɛ ɛwɔ dwumade no sɛ na bɔ mu na no pe mekamfo de ama sɛ woyɛ obi a sexual weakness aba betena wo so umema yɛno ntimi konkan ɛwɔ mpem ontimi ɛmmɔ adwuma yie wɔ premature ejaculation wɔ sexual weakness ɛna afei nneɛma hyɛ na nkɔ yie ma wɔ sexual dysfunction a bɔmmɔden sɛ oni dovita ɛbakra no kɛbɛdi nkɔmmɔ na afei ɔmatumi abɔ sɛde bi a umema yɛ ɛbɛtumi asi pii na afei sita ɛno akyi wɔ se gonorrhea ɛna ɛtete wɔ candidiasis ɛna afei infections ahodoɔ nso ɛna ɛtete wɔ a bɔmmɔden sɛ oni ɔmo ɛbɛdi nkɔmmɔ na afei typhoid ɛnso atena wo so akyɛ wɔ ulcer ɛno sɛ ɛti wo nyadeɛ a ɛwɔ sɛ wode w'ani kyerɛ mu ɛwɔ dovita herbal clinic asoyɛ na ɔnom ɛntimi ɛmmɔ frɛ mo ɛwɔ 024626 5313 0246 26 5313 na 020 5586 877 020 5586 877 afi ani Dovita Herbal Clinic ani omo etimi edin kama awoshi elank taxi station onoma na obehu omo tiframo na fi ani omo enin kama na fi onoma entimi embo omo din edi rocha imano from the sports monakebo tela na fi eye kojofo so mo techire ema na no pay yesi enkonya bedin semno edi ebro kama channel so se jumade na edem live awo fina sa game kese no ana se betimi abasesa two games a enu eba stenam so ema Blasters head coach Ura Otuado wanya ababedu Ghana hase nyame ya tuma ene ye hwe nem se coach Otuado edi Blasters squad no ebetimi ababetu dwa na onim se coach na dia 26 man squad na coach Otuado ebetimi edi omdin abetu dwa se we muni players a nyame eya tuma Ghana too much sa eda ye nima ye bono ombetimi ejire esiakan na report eba ne se players bi likely se bi ebenya chance a Blasters ombetimi abremu na fi players ne bi so nyadia omo ebetimi anya konya na Blasters omo ababejirem esiakan na eno nam so ba sei ni abetu dwa so hwe Ghana players omo esiakan wa manoni a eno abrante for Jordan Ayu ejirem esiakan edema club for Leicester City we the first match opo eri ama Leicester na EFL Cup game eno etimi cause no many club a ye for say Traumatic Rivers na ediwide also omo shom eka polypoly and ema club for the Traumatic Rivers kano omo entimi anti Jordan Ayu edi kan epusatra nwachi osanso ema assist e was game kese a eno etimi ekos ma Leicester e fan kunimdie e was game a eno so etimi ekos kanani abrante for say Abdumumi ono esina kan ewo La Liga menra womo sini club omani FC Barcelona ena Asia omo lucy by 2-1 na abrante na the first half na se abrante na ne modebo ya dia na no sina ekon kan ye papa ewo sa game kese ekosi sini nyina chino ne club no edi enkugo nochi Ghana ni abrante for se etuni sa edi for no oro se ejirem esi academy ne club ya football for ne de dodo na etimi ekopie mo hwema nema etimi konka onim se oda woni chiremo no jumede kese ekosi ura keto kreku FA president na ono akasa ho na fi ura makado na wono se ewo jumede na se na fi sports minister Mustafa Yusuf na wono se ewo jumede na se ema bibia se etimi kanwachi onim se koto tuado wono se etimi kopie mo manema so ekonkan na ohye jumede kese a etimi eba so hihia ana se epobia mpedefo abo no sei na echensema wo de course no Ghana Football Association omutena se no omugitum sa ampa ade all the 18 clubs in Nina no homo catch them say clubs in Nina before league never started homo the integrity senabeya nyama ebetima ko homo chire say no ebe started 2025-2026 season and as ahihia no eno ense ebetim asase nwachi empedefo asase dia tuja say eyade enchekra no Garamasik of excellence ano eye pampram omo ehwe ne se omo ebenya two eye glass pitches ano ebetimi abeka ne wo hoda down nyina ene se FIFA eye forward money ena omo kire se omo timi yisu na fie no etimi abona fi ne makaka no achi no omo dia tuja say ade 10 referees ewo Ghana League from next season ekono ema beye num emema ense ebeye num omo nyina so ade a omo ebeda Ghana Football Association omo pay rules nti omo ye referees omo fa omo permanent na fe omo echi omo ka busumi bia eno ye hisi amperefo dia ba no echi na amperefo confirm se nyame atuma Ghana Premier League this season ebe sha se 15th September 15th September and a Ghana Premier League no and I say ebetimi and so Asha say kama and which in FA president Akandia to just say idea the buses makuma 32 and so ababe piem na sanse tax and no edasunto import tax edasunto nyadia ti se buses no omatimi aklening na tene omusire aban se omo sire ya sa buses no nyina no omatimi aklom na fi omachiche ediama division 1 clubs na fi premier division clubs omuso ewo Ghana Premier League and no se kwese nwechi empedefo dia to just say idea enche krantentem su ya omo ehwenem se a 40-seater hotel and no a Dana hostel facility from Ebabesi or Pram Serbia national teams almost Ebeko Campio Pram Nina Ebenya Bibin Swada na etimi Abuama Nwechi and up the 40 to just say Omo Cultural Sports Ministry se onhe na omumpe a dias found being fan tour Serbia ye retired footballer na say heroes onum ewo Ghana has the Kobasa omo retire says Gano ebe skin biada ho na fe timi Abuamo Serbia bopom hu bra Serbia so mo retirement nyama ebetimi akoye dem na asema kunso a epiem o congress na say and a betting league kwa ana ekos no omo ka se ebeya anka efifo no entesimra no hwopene no omo fa no kopiem o court na fe omo kiremu nientia na oka se Ghana league no na fe omo kire se omo ye hihye se enche kra no omo hwe se betting companies no omo prevent omo se Ghana league no nyadia omo ebetim ayisu omo website ti eba se betting koso a Ghana league no omba yi enu afrimu a nyadia enu ebe kan bi enu si ade ba kwa empenefo edwene hu yie pa na sports minister said kotuja se ebe ya Ghana Football Association empenefo enchro enfon koma caf na fe takwati ene park omo mra mehwe se omo ebe nya international lances na ebi international games bi ebetimi akoso no ebi omo ede bi be ko takwati ene park nom akwakobo a omo gidi se no si ade ba kwa eno se ebetimi abo omo yie pa eno na openia ifena Mustafa Isi esu sports minister ono se dia to Ghana Football Association nim se basa sports a enye infrastructure nko nemo transparency fairness and afi development ni nyina eka ho ema goodien economic tebeya efifo no ema omoninko na afi ni gira nso entimi emwa na bibia sentimi kwen na efi president e dia to just say Ghana League eno eba be hyase enche kra no omo bomodin se omo eba invest $3 million eno ene sika omo hwe no se equipment nkwa no onom eba invest wo mtini nyina eye nneoma bi a ebetimi abonto hwe Ghana Football Association onom congress koso a we eye key point bi a empenfo edi etuja ewo jumede nase na onom se bet power wo mo eye jumakuba ko mo ana Ghana League no na onom sponsor se na no no contract no mo terminate na no ana ura keto kreku edi atuja se ade ahihye anansem mo kan some ebesi pitch or pram edi ama Ghana Football Association no sanhihye na timi akoso ema anura emperefo commission kra sera congress no eba bakoso yentie sema ura keto kreku edi tuja.
I'll start by saying thank you to the power. When we had the announcement months ago, I'm very sure that there were a lot of people who didn't really think that it would see the light of the day. But we kept faith, we kept working closely with the power. We've always seen them as a good strategic partner. And lo and behold, we are here today to commission the pitch. We've had the old pitch for close to 15 years. And obviously, with the growth.
Okay, tell some of that catch your criticism no say football no untumi nyamna supporters encounter. Me for kwembia so no more boss supporters ebetimi aba stadium from next season Ediko.
By talking about bringing the 12th man back. Indeed, football without the fan, who is our 12th man, is no football. And football with a 12th man provides the most attractive product you can commercially dream about. This is why the FA will, in the coming season, work with each one of you, and I mean each one of you, to win back the 12th man of our football. Our primary responsibility would include to roll out strategies to bring in new funds, make current funds happy for them to stay, and make passive funds more active.
Okay, TFA president na motene kana nwechi osaka saye se ankebe ya akaban ne ma ho kwansa se onim se FDA for di mre bia ba se kra no bia radio TV nyina embo 8pm ko a nsa ho advert na de nyina no nya de obetimi aye no na wura ketu kreku se okachira ba no se omosire no se ankebe ya aka omakwan na nka alcoholic beverages omun sponsor Ghana League no se ne be ya okwamono ni UEFA Champions League na de ate alcoholic companies sponsor mo no jiri say no eba Ghana League ni ma ebetimi aboye pa yenti FA president.
Alcoholic beverage sponsorship of football. The current regulatory regime does not permit alcoholic beverage brands to sponsor football products. This is against the fact that the biggest football product in Europe, which is the Champions League, is heavily consumed in Ghana by our youth and sponsored by Guinness Heineken. Clearly, our industry needs this source of inflow into our game. And we'll be happy if the laws that is prohibiting this to happen is fixed for us.
Okay, TFA president and I'm watching in canon. The criminal they are to just say or catch the banner so much say omwa na senebeya on. Taxes are either equipment, say be a important yama baby sports or Ghana had taxes said that's an almost rabino say omwa na few in few na incentives are FNB here, no media buana fi league na konkano, Jiris abane yesterday mama bit me a poem yipa yentianonso.
Review of policy on taxation of items imported for use by national teams. Items imported by the Football Association or donated for use by national teams and for grassroots football development have been taxed over time. This matter has been heightened on several occasions for appropriate action to be taken, but it still remains outstanding. Clearly, the football industry will be happy if action is taken on this.
FA President Ura Kecho Kreku ana mote nenkanona jumede na se ono se Ura Jacob Abdul Salam Yakubu ono se president Erimani Edibiase ono se na o congress na se bi ono se ne sema crowd to jafa se na ye sports na se kona fi eno ajumede e course pram no ono se e kan sei.
Yeah, but I know that I'm saying a group discussion. But I say yeah, the football record different level. Say football record different level. See, no one here because I'm not playing so. Activities but they are cost before. And Nema was on money. Here don't move about. Nema so say can you not so no idea. Maybe I'm so angry about it. Say, I executive committee and the president of my foundation. Say, to me, a year, your friend is saying, your program, all clubs in the media and the video.
Okay, ti enu yen sema ora sabato ni sema okano no na enu congress ni kosna anomo se supporters cast be ni oho ebe piem o pram ni nyina se Ashanti Gold supporters anomo nyina akopiem o pram kire se we dey adesrede pa FA president omo sa ekuta okoto jem patch se Ash Gold akwechira che na Ash Gold munsa and restore mu no mo besi akan wa Ghana Premier League no yenti sema Ash Gold supporters ni bi o ko pram edi tuja.
I go at the Ghana football, no, and also Mr. Cat, and Napamfono. Then you have to and go to do any able, sir. Of what's it, I go,
ono ena ne nsanso ebetimi enso akante eno yensema eno se fiona maba na report eba ne se abrante for se Jao Cancelo report eba se enchekra ono enani echirimo Saudi Pro League no club eba se Ahila ho ana okwa kusiakan 21.2 million pounds eno yesika no se epiemu enso ewo ni tie no eno reporter eno se fiona man se epa na Manchester United ani Chelsea egusi ekasa se Raheem Sterling ebetimi abana wabesi akadema Manchester United na Fijera Senchu enso akopiemus ewo club a ye for the Chelsea na wonu mi se Juve fo so kire se omuso enya brante na onomo su epenti ebehwese na hosem enso ebesi akonti eno ye kakre koso eno La Liga game kakre koso no ade Real Mallorca na Sevilla ekoye 0-0 na FC Barcelona achi Rayo Vallecano eboma kamienu a omuso eti ekanamo bakunti eno ahosem eno no nti ye de besia na jumedi akato aso Dwabo Ase to aso power 97 94.9 FM Sinti. Yadimosi, bitin Eddie Roger Yamano from the Sports Monarch. Yakramu.
Yeah, that's Roger. A good year once a man, what Dwabo Ase so now say, you know. I was here about no so Sima and what Roger Bettina said, Wabra Bonusia, upon Sima, Adriana, what do the right things. Well, you do over time. Roger, yeah, won't have one woman of fans. Why? Woman of fans, your sister. Well, you have a bottom to Sansa in Chabia, Simatata, Kakrabina, answer and make out, sir. I this year teach Jolu and in Potem. Woman is who can see a beer by too many. What was it now? What you back when ye? As your pie, your friend is here. One benye Gary, one benye bianum, one benye bianu mediane. A bomb to send your Jones Abaco. As you. Put your stone boy, you may say, and no man getting gitty and yepo. Mammy baby, I made that. Mammy Adriania medi, and no man getting gitty. As your keke, as you bet in a fire pipe move. Amiyanya bianum, Yabenya be a gade, Yabenya bianwa yadiane. Now what can me? And this year what Jolu and an important woman yabi. And you see, Wabra Jolu for Esuno. Now I don't turn it sprinters name Yamia Hodo. May I just me think I will be move past it. Obiti me or free Sam Yamia. What I say, now what you now go easy. Now, ya double bosom baby and son as well. Ensure keke, my ensure keke. I didn't think I was a baby a day. Now, I want you to want some sooner. Will be the message free tie for Kwesi George, or the message free tie for Kwame. I want you to want somebody to be Yakan and Yakatana. And as I buy inflation, any number 23%. A year day in a motorbike, monochiao, tia rubber. As somewhere in 2016, near Tono, bear 4,400. And a year Casa, any number 12,400 cities. A year day. A year day, Kwana to my Ghana, and one more boy who costs say inflation in 23. No, see a cough for man. I didn't think a born in my form. I didn't think a dear Sabiano, a one kwana quattro. Kwame, when the questions was a bubuso moo. And yet, what I didn't am effect, and now Casa be am effect, and I'll be quoted a TV show would trouble, and Yame de Kra, and now you try your manual semi moi. Wuba Uba manual semi and near Danny. Coming yes, some Nagana for a petty, and you few months and grab for her. Okay, I'm saying, maybe and some of main cow also can be because I better only had one cassa. Was Sabra make us a mere show, what a better me on. It was some near the Atuga. Jolu for pensio. A man for say no more boy crossroad. Baumia Sabre who to me at the end of the year. And our catcher said, so we had a na or trabe day. I don't know why we had a na or trabe day. What birthday wishes I would do about my main king Kakakra and send your boy Tonto and Sunshine. This is a very beautiful birthday message. I say happy first birthday. Happy first birthday. Happy first birthday to the little one who's brought so much happiness into our lives. May your day be filled with endless smiles and sweet moments. May your life be a never-ending adventure filled with love, laughter, and countless blessings. May your life be filled with as much sweetness and charm as you brought into ours. Happy birthday to you, Uriela Nanajua Sabia Sefa. Uriela Nanajua Sabia Sefa. And this is coming from your mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Sefa. Message is simple. We love you. We love you. When your first birthday, when you said you make I want to say, who have me? What about two mammy now? So, oh, mammy, no papa, so in can just say, oh, but papa, or Donny and Nietzsche with your babush, any or da with your babush, any sa or Danny or Dono, and Koswan Shrine, our Wabraboso. Yamisha, the empower Wabrabobuda. You really are? Would you know what I'm saying? You really are? Would you know what Brabo say? Happy birthday. Will you see my yama? Baby, I just solid. Yes, it's a draft for the solid there is 10,000 and 2,000. I was saying, I'm comedy, whatever I am, to Zanzai, and come baby, I best say.
Sawochi Konkoya Natrasa Samaba Na Sawochi Konkoya Natrasa Samaba Na Sawochi Konkoya Natrasa Samaba
Oh, fire sanima ni ade bobiati oba ne wan ye ni aka no be ni yesusu na waka na this government dey anya kula
se wuti konko ya
na che se o fire
ya no pay ya fa me ne akra covid comedian ne Kwame Nka Dwabo Ase ne tonton sansan ebre ne on ne to driver ni video isisi ye say na was Ghana for ye ade bi ebesi ye kwan bia say ma ye ho kwan emie mfa ya no ma ye mfa ya adwen kosa ade no so ye nyina ba bia ye gina na it is a video ni freeze on say na freeze na gina fa ko won ko ba bia wo gina TV no so say ya wo wie no akwanya ne samba ya ma ne kana sem say de osi peso ka
simple
was fire more was Kwame fire more was akra fire more fire ye ba be fire nya so obi ho tan anase obi hu ye hi anase obi ye tamfo nti ene ye de oni akwana to apaso adabia ye twa na timpre dabia no a statement of fact sir adwuma ye we are professionally trained to gather and disseminate information yadwuma no yadwuma ni say ye bekọ abonten ni aboabo ansema no ya tete ye say ye nkọ abonten kọ boabo ansema no ye pensemu na ye ntom pete na mansa nyina ye dai ensom sa pepepe no kura no ne ye gina so ne kasa enyo bi ho tan debi o man ga na adura ahokyera to ye ye mpe Debi woni Ghana ni kasa no peya anasa nwumra awia tem bia ne bekasa bia no ahokyere na ho asam ni hia no why because in 2016 His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo candidate Akufo-Addo eka asam ba ko na kire say said dia ahokyere ba o man Ghana sa abra ni mpo no wode akwa bi ba say ne akwa na no ya o me ba hunu say one on the defending no twitwa free atwitwa je no yini free banking sector adini be wura politics mu wabra no ni political experience
no new experience bia
wo breki emra ewo MPP mu ade papa yi be wura mu say surudu wabra na Ghana fo nya krado say ye po bi sa ene nanante wode ne be say ye mu say surudu
o say yensom
ana wo twamfonyi bi fa ne ho ade samfonyi ne say ya adwene mu
yesu
ade wura ye sunsun mu sa papa ya wo bei e basika sabon toto ya wa bei nyanse wo de tinu ne chankura yi o man Ghana sika na sabere wo Akufo-Addo susuemu no eye hata no wo ka wo Santa Maria say baumie bei wo ba be ma emu ayedu na emu yedu a ye dwetere na ehye na tubetwa ye sika na ye nya ne ye benya ene how many years ni 7 to 8 years ni akosi say
asai
ene baumie kuro ya Akufo-Addo twitwa ji ni ene wa begina simpie so wa bra wo petumi e ka che say hey winim na me ye meto
sir
enye me na me ye in charge in fact wo fa ne customer fo so e be ka che say edum pempen so bi wo che adwi bi mpo a eye o mo mfa na nam say ye dodo amamu oni nti se dodo na sipo esi ginaye se say no mo paso mo de o man Ghana kwa na ye tietia ne de no so na ye kwayenim so could that have been an afterthought but you see adwuma ye anopai me pese me gina de ba ko bia e wo panindie so e de dan asem bia di de kira mo o hwe America fo abato a opanyi bia wagina se wo pese wodi man panyi bia no America fo o masem hia ba ko eye oni akoni ni su ene ne ban de wagina ma no edi boaye ana eni boaye na ne na no kasa ene ne ekasa no asese anase eye pepepe when no ma America for ejina so e de to aba
very well
eti oman Ghana no America for moje uniform mu no eno abi na uniform ye mu
the same thing
adwene wo mu tirim no eno abi na wo ye tirim eti yen so wo abra ye wo kabi mami kabi amamu mu na ebra so se ye bekọ akoto aba no sa no ma no so no ye gina so to aba eyeye na no ba umya be ka kire se wo ye mate
sa
wabra ye nyina ye nim se Akufo-Addo ka kire se ebe economy na wo de na to in charge wono na ye in charge
good
and economy ye dwere gui wen din ne ebo pa
eye baumia
din pa ne ebo
eye baumia
questions ahodo e fa economy no wen ye bisa no
eye baumia
eso eto anu yiye so begina no kure ka so eyi ya no a wo ka kire se enyo no nsem ene wo Levi was a no and no maybe a time a dear hotra baby was a no na nemum a Akufo-Addo na in charge well ye Akufo-Addo ama but nani ya one is a dreadful share Yamia one pebble sir our ya no kore kafo nyame no kure kafo nyame masomo dada no kure kafo nyame ema ne nsa so sir eto kania de to baumia so good ema obi ahunu se tefre ne nam sum Obia hunu Baumia for who he is. Dear me. Kwame Adinkra ye nsentweni. Good. Washa ne nsentwe adwuma ase na me wo diapers mu. Enye ne. Wanya kura. Onya bufra won nsentwe adwuma mu wakuma ase. Mo. In fact, Kwame Adinkra ye one of the journalists. Omaye very consistent. Yeah. Ewo konso na chi. Was Santememu. Good. Asantemamu Kropon Kumase. Yeah. Very consistent. And they've been doing this for years. So Kwame Adinkra enya kwenya say wobebusa question no. Wobusa Kumase question. Kumase asem. Obusa Asanteman asem. Good. Asem here Asanteman. Good. Eye mpuntu abo mo. Kwame Adinkra no kura bi a wan kan ne say na wo say swami interchange ya obwa ye. Swami interchange no Pini anasa pillars and no resi and yes in fact Kwame Adinkra Bekaya won't to be back at ye say sa no mo beye said a beya asante for dream by your mo say ye bibi Kwame Adinkra say refia me kai good but we do me feel pa good and I like you as a person very well. Question ko busa na a good question about interchange and he said yeah Kofua penso wofa na sem hia na wogusu ado ye akwan ene no ma hodo e na abusa Baumia so wono so de no obeye. Now you see Baumia ye ene woka che ye say yeah see ye to abama pania ye pani no ene ye de sobo ye de nkamfo ye de nchiransam no ye de ema no se bibi tochewa enye na bede akire na sam ene ye beka enye na bede akire no ne yebebo no so cham enye na bede akire no ene yebebo no so bo Jesus Baumia ejina ye e wo sasem no ho Baumia kro ya wo ka sasem bra ye busa no sa kwakye no mesremo ada mesremo baby a wo bia jaide wo ye na tweba afidie no na bra Facebook power 979 good TVXYZ Ghana good say YouTube so bra YouTube XYZ broadcasting good na betie Baumia na no yie tie me. We are not playing Baumia bites because we love playing them. We are playing them because we want you to know the truth. Yeah. Nienti ayabo Baumia ne say ye pese mu hunu no kre no. Na mu hu Baumia na ne say ye si hunu no. Yeah. Ye wadwen bi fa no ho. Na nyame ncha de se adanside ne ye dai. Eno ankasa e ba abontia. Good. Obi abetimi di na ne hunu. Baumia ya wo se wo ye mate. Hwe na no ye our question ye bisa ne say e de no be ya ma Asanteman e ba akwan yo akwan sie good interchange akese ye ho a e de no be ye tie na no ye we.
See, I want an assurance. I recall the president first 100 days in office. I drew his attention to a vision of President John Ajikun Kufuor to the effect that he will fix the inner ring road of Kumasi to restore the Garden City glory. In fact, we saw the Asqua interchange, the overhead constructed. We saw improvement in the Sofola interchange. Now we have seen major constructions at the Swami interchange. But we have left with Santasi Runabout Interchange, Ahonjo Runabout Interchange, Alaga Junction Interchange, and Airport Runabout Interchange to fully complete the inner ring road of the Garden City. I want assurance from you to the people of Kumasi, whether indeed in your reign as the President of the Republic, you will fully complete the inner ring road of the Garden City. Thank you very much.
Kumasi, Santasi, Ahojo, and airport interchanges. Napo, I'll leave you to handle that portfolio. And it will be your responsibility to make sure. So I'll tell the Kumasi people to hold you if it's not done. I think that the issue of, that has been raised, I think.
I want the people to hear the answer. Ebra wabo napodino wakasem Mr. Mema enene mansa wakasem bi so wase napo mede wo beto saade ya no na wabra mede wo to saade ya no the people will hold you the responsible. And you see, this is coming from the mouth of a leader in this country. What dying a di edia chair say? One of the no man sisi no matter to your economy. You see, customer no, and you're from so if on your way your mate, it you know was say your first city and a mano. Tie anu ye ni bio. Na be wonu nie tie na no pay. Many akra kofi dako. Ye ni abere dia ma asanteman. Asanteman ye muya yo. In fact, agree what MPP voting mun say. Ye voting machine. Hey. Say ye so faso an say machine. Esi oni emia na ye tugum ni ye sa. O madwen ye say ye robots. Eti ye no kura na ni da ho kura mpo a ye be se da kata ye ni. Hey. Asanteman. Mom yen tra mo yen didi yatam say. Mom yen tra amen fa ye nimu twitwi fom say. Tie anu ya ba umia de ma ye. Say napo mede wo to sa de yi ano. Na sa asebo ba wo no ba so wa chi pa. Hwade we bio.
Tasi Amojo an airport interchanges. Napo I'll leave you to handle that portfolio. And it will be your responsibility to make sure. So I'll tell the Kumasi people to hold you if it's not done.
It's okay. It's okay. I will tell the Kumasi people to hold you if it's not done. Hey, did Ekufuado say the same thing about you? Ebera na what do you ya also was gone. And what can say we are saying say. Hey, did Ekufuado say ebera na so. Na se anye ya amanfo yebema amanfo abawo so wakasa no so you see ye gina sa principle na what you to dwane so a ene a ye dollar to cedi edru 16 cedis no why ye holding responsible enye ubamia sabre ka mini o my Ghana ye hunu ye ho ano no why ye holding responsible enye baumia sabre Ghana for meburu 1.9 million etifie kwa wo mu ni hwe gya no why ye holding responsible sabre ye ka say napko adese babo so me baburu de wo ho ye ntuo mu ka ye de omu begina Independence Square ejene gina omu no why ye holding responsible enye baumia sabre eba eye national service sika wo se da omu futuo mu se de be ye begina so e de abo man national service personnel abo omu bra e ma se de si ba no when you holding the responsibility baumia alaji Dr. Mahmoud baumia so ye fa wo principle na baumia wasem ya wudi tu dwai se ye fa no na ye kase ye didi nkomo a se ya ne nkomo no beko na podi wonya umate na podi eye da ne ye be holding no I didn't know what I could be Napo. But you see, President Mahama. Yeah, and Raya. Yeah. So some ya bossy. What church you move for be sure. Good. Would it tea way, mammy?
Try yenim democracy. Obi Obi Abedi. Now we Obi Abedi. I just say one no and a yejuma. That's in your friend a running mate. Now running mate and then make us say. Me running mate here nana jeno pokwa jimai meneno ene be ye juma abom e te se obeboa me aye juma enti bibia e pese ye bia mebusa no na wetu befo na meneno makase koyese meso me yese koyese na enti me nkoba se ye be wie ye juma na e wose ye bu nkonta na je na kase me no wo ho no na me de me driver mate me nka ho ye wo nko a na na wo ye wa de na sa se me to asum ezu te sa me ne Professor Mills ye juma no maka se o Professor Mills de no na ye na de na me nka ho me na me driver mate me na me driver mate o na me co-driver ezu enti se driver na all drive your mind no or the mind no akwhwe ase na ne driver meter o no o share dey fi driver or dey o mind akwhwe ase no o se afa sanfa o mind no share ne sa no san drive biom ye de be ma no Davida wa o master the bus na akwhwe ase na wo driver na wo share ejuma o master no o se afa yenfa bus no ma na o so onka David. Your driver dada no drive ye. Or no any best friend who say on befakano, no tremu, no fast here no near.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama no anadwo wo eye ashaman ebere dom efiri omu pem epu behia no ne nsem ni bi odi tudwa e de fa nkomo ya ye di e de fa omampanyi ene na bade ekire no. So in principle mampanyi ne na bade ekire ye adwuma bom. Wontimi nka se baby ayeye no me mampani abade ekire me na metu safo no eti ho no momfa enije ne ahohwa wansem no emfa mome ba baby ankoye no enam say ye mampanyi no na nanim eda abato krata aso no ye fa sobo no enwo no mampanyi jomama say wo ye ne say enye yes ye adwuma no ye dey ebom. So you see wabra wo kasa asem we no ene wono ankasa ne fidi abayi no ye kwa homa no so na ye mfa Appeal Stadium where political activists here for them enkomoni we obi a we ye bibia Kumasi no wo good it asem ya yakan ye fa asantema hu ehia no pa onim ena odi kwame adigirati nye ne good odi na chipa and okino catch am officer question kwame busa ne hia pa good ba no ye no ne asem no Appeal Stadium identity as anu ye ni eni asem no
Papa mi nka ma oni uyima producers ne bini opi apini o tiwe ne ma hunya ase ba ni ka kuma je se buda mo mfa mo nkran ne ye ka kuma se bi re
Abia ye tie o hello Abia
na ye uche ndi ba re ngo sa twi no bra ye se bro forma na di obri se kwa me di ntia ama ye hu se ni nka o me di u shebu bi ba o nka wan ko jitu
Abia jina ye said be ya bete wonka ye minim de ntia o wa no ahoma no atekọ
o te benka
afede ye te wonka pa koso sase ne network so
na mi bi se ensancho asofo bi na di abroba ensanchofo ba me di nka me hu se buso
eme se yima yensan frɛ ne bio minim de ntia o gasa kakra bi na atekọ ya no wasaba yensan fa Appeal Stadium emra na anu ye ya ba omi ade ma ye saying na santeman shom saying na santeman hunu no sa omo hunu no sa atemdidi te se de me kwame a me so asanteman mu ana na me wa ma be pie mo nkran no me bo me pai
ena kwa
na me omo so hunu
wo hwe ayun anu ye a Mamudu Baumia doctor edi mai na se bi chem se ade no onwene esantifo ho me sa na metimi aka
no fo mo
ho adenti ena obeka chen se wedi napo na be yi ano on one leg no wo se opa asantifo asem wo se opa asantiman wo se asantiman eye nkrofo ku bia obetimi aba
na no asebe na Baumia mani nsa na no asebe mpre be bro de wo ho o mami asa o papa free mu no
yeah
one China call ye cast as said ye what be ye janka na wo peja no tumfo embe ye weja
eye santima wura
na
eye nte no koi
and na santima mpuntuo santima kan ko ho asem abeto wani ma wo se wo yi ase napo na napo de wonye met he na uwie ya wo sa de so atem ni die kura e bradwe ne ntiase so uwie ya wo sa de so se wanya asanteman be hold responsible
na tese nya wu Baumia
na tese wo nsusuye mu no napo no wanye sanka wo adwen park adwen we embassy utrim
dabida
wo nsusuye mu no wo adwen mu no napo sampuntuo na asanteman hwehwe no napo ntumi nye ebra ni dua asantema beba be so ni mu onu momu
sa
no mu be so wu mu
he na se santifo mu wonfa wo mu nya hwe anya di so be ye
ne backup plan no
enu no Mamudu Baumia Ghana mampaninga be de chire o say franketuni ma NPP kwam mi amimiti he wo ye santini mami ka semba ko be nchira wo kotu abai manua na chese se bitafra umpe mpuntu umpe nkoso we santima mu esanse tie obi a o se to abama no no e no ba be sambutu nyuma efei osan Erica kire se saadi wei enyo no be ye nti wei nanim o de ahye napo
wei ahye
napo onko bra bato
knowing very well say eno me ya wo sie se wo fa mu wabra na ya abede akire no knowing very well say bi betima
ato no
eno ma wono no sie se to no wabra no ya kufu ado abede akire no woni mpa se bi betima to Dr. Matthew Bogu Prempe
sa
etienne wo nyina so ne dan ya wo ka se adwuma kase we wo de hye na ponsam na wantumi anya
ne tese
asante meso ni mu
esantifo umumu
me say
press
conference no ye no oni akwa obo a omo ye no wa ya de o
papa
wa bebo my Ghana o say they say the president Mahama kan nra no no madwen ye omo say omo ye e dia be say NDC manifesto ne nsempa omo wo ma oman Ghana. But you see, look at what they've ended up doing. So oma boya me ehunu no kura no sa oma boya me ehunu Baumia said you sit here. This is the real Baumia. We are from so to Abama Baumia. We now behunu.
Sapa pepe essence on say Mordecai. E could see bi say mesa hema woso. Na neti we no na nkasa o sense aduane so. E bia na to no yi. O de bia Baumia na montin so na no chabi. Obekasa sa. Ena ensem twafo se wo ankasa so do ho ama. Sense twafo mebisa wasafe du so ntumi nkasa biom. Never santiman eru bisa say Nyama bi say what say my roundabout
akwan ho asem we nya bibi foforo bia and see Kwame Adinkra e ro na me yesho say Abia Stadium ba boy am yate ase Kwame Adinkra mo nso o makoye kaba bia omo kumase omo nka no kura ne nkire kumase fo so me entertain ne he ye Peter say was a video now show them ye so me entertain ye de pillar bia kwasisi ho we ye as of May aye ko ho no
May nanse ya musu be esanchi ye
na say na hosi as of May
it is then say won ye entertain wa May, June, July, August. Busu may be a santem no. Then the chess one guy interchange to her. And your honey. I have macro. It interchange, you know, Benantia, Befura, Melcro, Rubber, Memoro. It's a high macro. And the Enomutu from. And the already gra. So one guy interchange to Hanga Sabre, and who's on a babafa, and came with a Hanumo, one guy asked for her. But woman, anything futru, if you nine a guhanuma, a waha. Nana, ye bisa of Mampeninga, but the about me also for Mampeninga di. Ye bisa say. Da bang no be ye niam we ya wo se me de me yi me ho afrim enti me fa ma hena me fa ma napo.
Okay, yenso yentoma Abia Stadium wo sima kakria bi asem bia wo pese oka e de fa Baumia no ye no ye tie wo
atie bomba ncheme kufu ada memory telephone o ta de tie ni kuma sia bi jira mi bole te ama wato unyansa sem so no Kwame Adinkra jalesha atade afu plus wo froka ne bank ran obaya obi so mam akufu Baumia sen emira boso be mi ensa pa wo da munu ni amonya na si boso be mi ensa ye de overhead eni pana je 7.5 years do 8 years wa ntimi anye overhead so for life what is so for life for ye ni ha overhead mi ensa okay no Kwame Adinkra ya medi no wonu say boso be mi ensa boso be mi enu aka ye de fly over now say now ko bu sana ma tibe na de say wani ya no ma wa ba ba ye no so ko yi she na po say na po na ye ba wa nya ye be bi sawo wana mu nya ba so ya di o mena ma no wa tibi anye dollar wa tibi anye cement ebo wa tibi anye ni ma dollar so na ko ma prosifo wa tibi anye na bu so bi mi ansa no no odi ya na ko Kwame Adinkra agia tu say ya na ko be mi take ato aba ma ba o mi ana na dem pese ko che Kwame Adinkra mo say adu mra esi e kachira mo sense nto fo binu eni nananum himfu binu eni asofo binu this is the time esi e kachira mo say enya fo ga chinchira Kwame Minka wo ka samu ya wo ka ne kure enu kure ni pelu say ne kure enya fo ga chinchira obi afo edi ya pote kachira nto fo binu say yentimi nkan oda bia mo mu disiwie Kwame Adinkra tiri sha meka kachira ne yire esi afi wato aba ma president mama o say go share MPP for say no say ka se fofo o ba ya mu bia bo ni president mama wo mo bia ka che na je ko ko ma Kwame Minka eni bi ni ko afi ni no ti wo no mo so na mo ga bi ni wo hire ba mu ni Kwame Minka ko wa yi ntiri nyina nya sika kasa tenten ni ko fa so ka che Ghana ko se ni e pa wo do ma mem Kwame Adinkra sabi mi ka bi ze nya me kasa tenten tank se ze Kwame Adinkra wale mi na me ni ni ya je ne ko o ru ajo ma ma ko ji ka e wo so ko wale e so na o mo ka kura
very well Abia Stadium ye bread nti ye van twene hana bia wura ide hot kakra mesira wada na so wuti Abia Stadium na anu yie no ene ba bia wo de akose no a problem any reasonable minded person o wa santimemu na no pay se wutie me a na wetie Baumia over the past months here waka say wo president adi na what say Baumia ka say wono no wa ban we mu no wo ye mate na ne ma ne kwan e ma ne nya adwuma afi no ba ba ye adwa akwanya ye adwuma eye dan na mukurom yan ka say ye kurom yam ya sante man yam puntu nyuma ye nibresam ene wo dane dia ma obi a wo ye ni mate say wono mom na embehwe so na wo hwe so na amamu a Yenkoso he does not take Asante serious. Anything that over the past 7 to 8 years, any significant development within the Ashanti region.
Good. So if I know back at them,
so I'm amazing for a ready for more Katia, a ready for more Safo, a ready for more a year bantama. I can search up radio. Bien, Baumia Nankasa, you'll be an a forsono, and you'll be an Akasama Tono so on one casa, there be a no, sir, Akasa, sir, Amana no Casa, there, the professor, Asante Maimu, Yano. Etiba, why an address a war bay, one by Bomo, sir, Pepe. A quite one yet, when him say one yenti, and what the aquasha Napo. What him say Napo your mate, and what the aquasha, sir, say I'm memoir, Yembisana, I got dream be saying you to my head and Oka, say I'm Masua, Yembisana, Pumabisana, name when you bow me. Yet Uber to Abamano. Can you imagine? Yet dear President Mahama, and now na pro bonumun 70b, now young 70b, what it to ya, Yanni came free. Ayi press conference yo mu ye ya na nka akwa se name ya obaso say when Mordecai dia anya mfe ebu akemi say na President Mahama kan asem.
We launched our manifesto and just the next day the MPP flag bearer did his media encounter and there was something strange. I didn't watch the whole thing but I've seen excerpts of it. And he said something that when the budget is presented, whose name is on it? It's the president's name. It's not my name. This is the first time I've seen a vice president running away from his president's track record. Government is a continuum. Government is a whole. Government is a collective. And what we have in democratic government is collective responsibility. You all take collective responsibility for what happened. I was the head of the economic management team under Professor Mills. When the budget was going to Parliament, the budget was in the name of Professor Mills. But I never ever disowned Professor Mills's budget. Because the budget comes to cabinet, we all argue and decide what the budget should be before it goes to Parliament. So you can't sit in cabinet, take decisions on the budget, then when it goes to Parliament and the economy has crashed and things are not going well, you say, oh, my name was not on the budget. It was the president's name on the budget. And so every good thing in the government, you did it. I did Ghana card. I did this, that. But when it comes to the economy,
any of which I hear from where you went from. You are not a team player. You're a team player. Dwabo Ase team. Why not even say when oh yeah the bomb. Semini ha show no cop. Said the cop. Sapepepe. Mini ha show the other. Akwa said the cop. Sapepepe. Akwa betrema of fire. Sapepepe betrema of fire. Yenyi ya home ma. Debi ya dodo ya home. Sa. Ya adwuma bomb. Sapepepe. Emmanuel Usu. Eddie Yadim come out. Fantastic. Solid. Teamwork. Now who bet you back say wait the minute nyame me Simato eba ye dwumade mu a ye nyi obi ma as a team player good you take collective responsibility of failure and more successes baby aye mujitum baby anko ye jitum is this a kind of leader Ghana wants Debbie obi a won your team player Debbie is this a kind of leader you pay? And you see a bucket and son of proya. Also, no way you every view. Meanwhile, a PDS assembly. One now, my coin, sir, and signing free a bank guarantee and a insurance guarantee. So, as your cheap baby, a sunny and for so any walk, a buy a num 20 PDS way book Ghana for and we are kete and you see a Janet. One casa baumia wunya bema Abraham baumia so ya wose nya dia ye gitumu ne ye gitumu tina ebebo my Ghana ye gina so in agreement so e de agree contract ahodo ahye Abraham baumia nsa ebi ni sunyani airport nziezie pesika pudu ade ye so ho e de bakata zone proya president Mahama say boss look Oko songo sesa na ka no songo enchine e won nsam ye ba na anu ya wo so wo ba o mu be ye hwehwemu a adwene ntiase wom good na ba bia timato ene o mo ma fom emra no de wo so ye de ye omo no ye de be ye omo ba sasam no boni tew kobe enchirase sasam no enchirase ya ni sei adafo adwuma wo ye titiru e ye enchine
wo mu ye nkyene ho adwuma na sa nkyene na wo mu ye won dia nso abangi ba ye watabre sa nkyene concession nyina ama ba akofo a ono so ama nyoku no ba MPP ni ana wo de ahye ne nsem ama adanfo me ne erikase no woni adwuma ye e wo honom enam so ba kai sem twere ni ba ko ye adwuma wa dan radio ye fe no Noah minu kasa branti atua na nanom ntia do because na na ni di akiri nti de bia da no obo sa asem wo dawuro enam so ma branti a wamri sa concession ama no ma branti ko bro sa nsem twere ni Noah na ye ngesie no enti ye ba tontoma ni mama kyerem so oba sa contract ya won aye obehwem
ye tie no said osika na asem.
And I can assure you, you know that NDC is the nation builder. When we come, all the good things we're doing for you, your schools, the E-block that is on the first floor that has been abandoned, will come and finish it. And I myself, I drove on the road from Koluedo here to Bonikope. I've seen how the road is. Indeed, there is no road. We were constructing the road, it has been abandoned, so nobody passes on the road, everybody passes in the gutter. And I've seen it myself. It's important that we do something about it because there's a lot of potential in this area. I mean, this asset alone with the salt that God has blessed you with, if we do the infrastructure, we do the roads properly, and we're able to exploit this salt properly, it will be to the benefit not only of the people of Adan, Sege, but the whole of Ghana. And so I know their issues. Have received petitions with regards to the Songo area and all that. And I can assure you that 7th December NDC is going to win. When we win, we'll look at all those petitions and we'll come to a resolution that is acceptable to everybody, and that's justice to everybody. And so
it's not a matter of if we win, Debbie. When we win, yeah. Also, very good. I feel quite any na yentie nano brofobia na baumia chinchira or pese wadi ura Ghana for trim. Ghana for abaje reset atum. You reset ne se and from swaba fidie nim sa and from swaba o man nim chimato aba o man no enkan komu. Good. Enti yendum no ne ensan sobio. Very well. Yendum no ne ensan yedai and sobio. Said abaya ebe boama afidie no man Ghana aye afidie no ebe ye adwuma se de yesi pe no enye upgrade debi we fidie say ya ye upgrade no ye reset anade ase wo ba upgrade na ye den we ye mane ye sa efri na say o man na say ya wo say ye dum o man no ne ye nsiesie ye e sa ne ye no na ade na say wo say me ba upgrade no kita se pro ni drum di kankan a ebon wo man mu no eno ne ye ba upgrade anyway president Mahama say reset no one and focus war good you know
election. It is an election about the future of Ghana. It is an election about correcting the wrong course that we have been taken down by the current administration. More than 80% of Ghanaians say that Ghana is going in the wrong direction. And so if you're going in the wrong direction, you need a reset. You have to reset the compass to be able to find the right direction to take. And the party that can reset that compass and guide us down the right path is the NDC government. And I know that come 7th December 2024, as Adan has always done, you're going to stand solidly behind us so that all of us will be partners in resetting the course of Ghana and taking Ghana down the right path where we'll be able to create prosperity and dignity for all our people. We don't have time. Ghana does not have the luxury of time. Our youth do not have the luxury of time because our youth are the future and they are also our present, and they don't have the luxury to try and error. This one will come and try, dump us in a ditch, then the driver's mate will come and take it, go and try again, and go and crash us even further in the ditch. We need experience. We need one who has done it before. We need a licensed driver to take over the vehicle and move the vehicle towards where God has ordained that to go.
And President Mahama Eka reset asem way. Yenya more specific. Said beya amafo benya asem edi ato na asem ya wo ka no ho. Good. Na wo hunu ba bi ode nani akire. Also within the first 120 days. And Peter Fami call a Saturday manifesto launch no. Ebra no wakasa fa economic dialogue no. Good. Say video no na yitu a screen no so near Moses here. Was say within the first 120 days omu bebo dwane adwenje o my Ghana sikasemo ye ne abenfo anim de fo mo ma ben o ye sikasemo wa bra okura aban no information no na ye gina so wadwento ato akwa so apekwan bi a ye bebo e de ato aboa ne age o my Ghana afri ahokire ya say e de owuo any apinyesie aba manimo yete se de osika na asem memenda ya
As I've said before, this government must begin writing their handing over notes if they have not started doing so already. First is resetting the economy for prosperity. In the first 120 days in office, we will hold a national economic dialogue to draw up a 4-year fiscal consolidation plan. We would rationalize taxes, abolishing, among others, the obnoxious e-levy, the COVID levy, and the 10% levy on bet winnings. We will review import duties and levies on vehicles and equipment meant for industrial and agricultural purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, we will rationalize port fees and charges and implement emergency measures to stabilize the city and the macroeconomic environment.
Eti sawutie enzemi a wobobobo so ya na watch us within the first 120 days no ombe hold economic dialogue na wo asem na chi no eye nso anu aduru a wode beto akwan mu animanimu na waba no ebeboa ma city na sanya na ho den sa ebeboa ayi Ghana afri oka amena yimu you so he's not just saying say ye ba be kasa kwa o wabra hwi nkura no no ye kasa no obibi ekura no sa na sa de kura na ekura no no eno no obehwe so agina so ama no maboa ye akotore aba form sa eno no obehwe agina so ama ye sidi ye aye hatahatai asa benya hodi bio eno no obehwe agina so ama no ma ye kraba maimu a eya na mpempi na aye adesoa e de ama amanfo yi adesoa no so aye dey atie sa pepepe so he's not just saying say ye bedi nkomo dabi it is MPP for ne kasa say and President Mahama e honeymoon they say this out of daftness they say a bon and a no de kasa because so woni made na wo pese wo di no kura how be fair to Mahama by saying say wabra workers a mama me honeymoon like period wabra ye nsiesie no na se kire ne say mama ye nyina ya dwen kokwan a ye befa so aboa ama oman Ghana sigasem asori agina ne da so won kan nyina no so no wache no ma wode beto akwan ma ebeti aboa ama ye sigasem ama na hom ne so ebio so won pe wedie na opɛ ebio na opɛ ba o miyetima dan bibi say dia akyerɛ
gabi ontimi kan bibi a say
ya platforms ahodo a wagina so wotima kasa say pen
gabi
eti follow the one who knows road sir anya de obekwa akwa yira wo kwantin firi what did you make no you na ye kwa enim no ye fo mo ankasa kasa endi adanse bi MP for Dwabo Ase yes Dwabo Ase honorable Kwaku Kwaten Dwabo Ase West yes akane no deputy minister of finance in charge of revenue kai Akufo-Addo bai no ono na in charge of sika no boaboa egosi say ene wo be ka kire say aban no munsu anyansa sikadie basabasa no eno ne ye ne tie no
the danger coming, all right? And over Bangladesh, Kenya, even Nigeria. We have seen here air corner. Clear say Africa and here, the Arab Spring ever. Yeah, but now I and your basabasa. We cried them who say emfa a debia receive your politician out kita V8 na kakraka na few bebreno. Na a dear na your mount here, you risky your mind to that point. So, there will be a good fair for reforms, and I am say within the NPP. Now, we are even making the case. Your manifesto near the Abetugano. Send a bear a bit to me a year, you see, abolish taxes. And a new also a person Yamagana for says can free baby. I was say a share baby, I say Sika traditionally, especially yeah, among your phone, Sika, yes, penny your honor. Yet so we na sister nano ehia say wotete ni mabi so na so Ghana for say look maybe your mind kono ye pese ye 1 2 3 4 send ye ka o manifesto mas Canada any ho e na ye ni akonya no say be impose tax because taxes no kura no says ya we impose yes kanu unya enu nti no eye we na wo say jai we na wo say jai we na wo say jai me hwa manifestos ni ma mi hu on both sides me hu nkakra ewom but MPP there I can speak to yet na se ye cost
oh you see ehunu so ya no mo de kasa no e wo say ka bibi kire mo look opeso ka no kure no pa na sika seye ni sika die e wa mamu we no eno na ama oman ni sika se mabo se ta sika seye resika pudua yatam de kwa presidency si ye de kwa resika Ghana sika yatam ye de han wie mu sen edidi akoni aba hwe covid sika ye nyaye ede e pa na ye de ye den ne de ye so sika seye e na me abedu ba bia ye dru na de odi animu e ma sika seye ko so no wono na ne woni fere ye ni obuo eni suro bia ma nyame a wo begina ye nim se ye fatumi ma no dabi. Can you imagine? There were dear Nimu Masika say Nabano, and it's a Shiegu, and it's a dear Basabasa, your course one. I about me, if you say, or my Ghana Sika Samon, and some, and yet the share. Nisamana Kufado, Kufado, meaning Baumia, Baumiana Minimo, Nisamia the share, Sapa Pepe, and then when you put any ferry, any Sroman Yamio, Abajina Ghana for him saying for to me, Mano. Says our Padia. So Padia, then no pay. Kwaku Kwate catch them. MPP ni NDC nyina say oman ni be ye say ya nya hwe ye you see Duncan Williams can some time ago say ya nya hwe ye wan hwa de see wo Arab Spring no betumi si say de maburu mo hom so pa mo hoja e de osay ye bai no e bi betumi si wo bi betumi you and you see what's your President Mahama he is not oblivious of that fact good what call a year segeno what catch na nanu matena nkonya say Ghana maburu ni abotro abuturo mu nini se omu di hia abuturo mu nini se ekomodi wo mo abuturo mu nini se omu ni adwuma ye sa etisi anye bibi ampata wo mu a ebetimi di osay aba sa Mahama is not oblivious of that fact you but Baumia is so blinded with power that he does not see the struggles of the youth to me na ne hia no to me na ye yanke bibia kekene fanye to me na mom so be yese nia ye rika se mabu ebra mabu ni adwuma ye na nu de why na adwene se nya de so obebu na ehu bi so enti Baumia eyo bi asebio onwene wo bebu ne ho onwene ho so ni adwuma ye wo do ye dey onwene ho se sabe come de wo ka digitalization ba ye nim de wo ka e de no ka Mahama ka digitalization o wa bam wo de ho infrastructure ye dey e to akwan mu what the home infrastructure ye day minister minister of communication both deputy and main no what the home infrastructure ye day etwakwemu vice president through to bra obey president when the bedroom kasa no kra no now what dying digitalization in fact teleprompter ye public speeches Mahama the bewura politics our my Ghana so Mahama is a walking example of digitalization. Good. It will be a tesano. Dear nature say, want to mean far bear for kwan yi, and more kwan bin to one man mebunu enye nyuma to said your worker. So, obe to me aye. At the end about me aye. Or so I say, mobile money interoperability. Or no, and I'm not so a bassa. But fact checking so it is not true. No quarry. Who said ni panankasano aye ding. Say I didn't no quarry or be I on can quarry tag na tag no. Said him on one casa wajatum. Oh, why on to me? So ojetum also me podi so say me obi a me nka no kware a me jetum esan say me boss mpodi ni pa bia ka se be obi a be oyo widi ni me bua ono kan kwasi de ya ono ne kan now yen san hwe his excellency John Mahama wa bra ye kika nsem nyina enya wa wasa mabunu no etudi na chi ya mabuna wa shaman enra no mo ye omo no ma he sa bre ye komodi amanfo sa bre amanfo ni adwuma sa bre amanfo ye wado mo titi ghettos ene omo miamia hodo omo dwe omo te se President Mahama Abba Shaman. Come and see crowd and dumb. And you saw being a coffee deuro. They said the nano pay for deura yebo to Sansan and ya from Sansa Mumbeti and some yo. No, one for deura, what deuro say when I'm cross bo into a mouth from PMO. No, oh, what thing no winna. Exactly. Ma will for video not to so. Na yen feel video ni bi. Ha!
Is it John Zaman Mama? When you back Wanga ambition, in Muisala, Anabamu holiday, Lana Dea, Totaman Mama, working years old, holiday ya kala muna gari holiday ya karu iyayen mu da dama sun kasa biya can zamani mama wan gaya muku iya ka zo iya zo power kudin haji ya doki rabi kan za ka haji kan ma ka biya rabi.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Try 1, 2.
Elections are what they can on person mutie. May you say $1 million per constituency per year. That is cash your bar. That is cash come there. Your bar will be a me. District be a manufacturing now a mebuna in your jumaye. Sending in and trunk one. Ezu. And Tom say, who can be a Ghana for person mutia? Beto amao now to my omotumawa nature say when you're home now baby na oye unti obi asem Ghana sikeni na abeda ne odia mabo akokra dodo mabo akokra se medua musika enkokra no po na wia sika che embofra no wa wo master the bus na kohwe ase now we driver now we see ejuma of master no we see have a bus no now also onka David your driver dada no drive ye or no any best friend who say on befa car no non tremu no fast year no nienko eza enti enye se ubesu mama atisa akoda mama Cristiano and yes, I need Cristiano. Stiano and Genesa. Also, called DVLA. Near court testing one, sir. Near who's a winning car, Neka. Asani are your license. Asani are the license national, sir.
Aya, Okada for Yadamasi. Mumbia Kwanomu.
Mesamo wabra will reduce volume no cause of video no to so man overlay shots na man from Philly enye overlay shots ma crowd nra so hwedom yo omo na fru omo pam ye dai ebetie present mama and as we are working here si emu so no enye su ene ye de je debi adwuma waye sa ene ye hwe so this year ne ye dai ede ma you wonya hwe wo ma ho kira ba wo so a wonji ntum ugu so na wo twatoro ena wo kika nsem bia wo adwen ye se wo ka che Ghana fo mbeje no matie no magina so ede ato aba ma enye no ne ye de to aba debi Ghana fo na woni momo 2016 no ne ye modi afa ye ni ase enu nti Ghana for the money hobio. Yeah. The money afa ye ni ase for the past 7 to 8 years. Ghana ni abrewa kokora. Wone ne nana anom. Bondo semi muma ni sika ka mu. Ghana ni abrantie bia na oye adwuma wo bank bi. Amodi atirimodin begu bank ya. Ena wote fie kwai. Ghana ni abofra bia ena mo se free SHS do hian se wadwari a shatade akosugu no. Amama ho kire atuni. Because obejira sadia we so abere yes sir people are desperate to save the soul and heart of this country about where ye kotwe enya about obi akwa e your mind na was ye gino na se ye anju your mind no na ye jeja ye ho na ye sa de kwose atimodinfo yi nsema o say ye kase ene ye bekomi wabra ye de tonto sansan ebetu e mame fanko atifido mantem e wona tamale NDC wo mo se voter transfer nsem bi e koso wo ho na nanu mfomso bi e baaye no o mo bompa ye se enye mfomso obehunu no baabi a na sasa na tie dia ene wan hwe ntiase enye ne ho adwuma ade we.
Our reason for inviting you is to draw the attention of the world to a very serious criminal act regarding elections in Ghana. I believe that everybody across the world knows that democratic practices expect the people to freely express their will by voting. And when they vote, in regards to the rules, the majorities will prevail. But what we have in Ghana now is being questioned. And we have called you this morning to present to you some evidence of what we have, which puts the Electoral Commission, in my words, at a very awkward position. They must be responding and responding quickly to the questions that we will be asking. Now, we all know that people are at liberty to transfer their votes when they relocate to areas other than the places that their registered votes are. So because of this, the EC, as part of their calendar, opens up the transfer process so that people will walk to their offices, complete forms, their biometric data is taken, pictures are taken of them, and new voter ID cards are issued with them in accordance with the new polling stations they choose to transfer their vote to. What we have in hand today is the case that 2 polling stations in the Tamale South constituency and 1 in the Sanargu constituency, voters had turned out to respond to the invitation of the EC to check their names on the voter roll, only to be told that their votes have been transferred. This transfer.
Meme de me ho a makọ ato santene atwa me din edin no abato nwoma ni mo me ko akọ check me din a yesi me din ye de ko ba bi foforo.
Can you imagine abrame ni mo ho hwe
hey say we ye kwan a mo ba fa so e de awie mani mu a e di si mo mama ni mire o
ya
look obi amfa ne ho njimu bi
obi amfa
ne ho njimu bi
ya
wani boss anase ukọ baabi ni ye catch us say ya transfer vote no ekọ baabi a fa beto party aye na adwen say e beso ya jo man yi every nkofo yi nsem anim fa beto o manim
ya
o mbedi ho djuma doctor Manebo ama bia oporo no na da ne da nyina man for complaints no emra wo fili kra for number bi bra na ye fa ntodwa hotline bi na ye fa ntodwa na man for emfrefre
ya
because samunya a conglomerate of cases bi sana ebetima boa mama nyanyina so bi a ekirigie bi anim
good
na for so easy no amna ye de etene
good
adwen kire no enti ya nyina we so na ye fa tonton sansan ne to ana wo bi foforo ka
kwam ye de besia
ba ko ne ye fa nse ho
efuni kase bre no
abafo sika no mo
fa check no
pa hwi
aman ya mayam ayo enyo ya ne wom ya paso bi aba adwabo na sibi na asambia wo bia mu oka na mama ne ye kunsum yemfa mu mai motrobodo yemfa mu mai mosempa
Spanish garlic mixture. Now what fina what see drink about be doing one dance yana. A dread yes I jigana have baby hour. Media crap.
want us to feel stupid. Oni obi atemo. O se di omo ye no mo pese sebe. Omo ye sebe sankofo no. Hey.
They've been celebrating all these days.
Mama evidence. 10 hours ago, Dr. Manebuama, Director of Elections, Emma NDC Amanyoko, on Facebook, and Obi fact check it. Was it Momo is 15 years old? Momo, say was sending Sika, Ediako Obi Fonso. O fair free Fonso, Ediako Obi Fonso. Power, and if you do noon, far older than when the liar began thinking IT. Hey. Yeah.
They've been celebrating all these days. They've been celebrating all these days.
Okomomo vendor ho. Esania ko obi phone so. 15 years. You can fact check. Major real estate adarma anano pe me kanfo. Omo di amount. Se ukon sasibiti se hobo Ebenezer City. Obom Ebenezer City. Royal City. Shy Hills. Ubenya sase pato. Na sansasi ya ye kan wase me. Ne bone da form kama and away and sazi egu miamia enye den se obenya nsuo ene anyina kanea te say for the past 1 week jolufu so omo se eni nsuo 1 week ni miamia nsazi igwe ensuo ne anyina kanea enye den so obetwe e de akọ ofie and wotie sika ni nyina de to nsazi ya ye be ma 5 bags of cement free akra ye be say 200 pieces of blocks at the amount free. Don't pay in up at a major real estate from 055-4578-338 and at 0500-663-005 and at 0240-387-837. Kaiso office war a year Kaswa Ottoman Stipa wa. Major real estate.
Hey, Kwam. Hey, Dr. Manibua Mansama Okinkan is here.
That's what I
mean, Zanipa being near me, Pacho, or phone be a cry at DS, that's what is here. If I say J-Phono, a live show, Famano, a live show, live show, live show. Okay, phone message in it. King Kang
was a yellow valued customer. Momo is 15 years old.
Hallelujah.
And we thank
power.
Was it? And we thank you for trusting us all these years to celebrate with you. Download the all-new My Momo app by clicking or clicking at the end.
Good.
That's what I was saying.
All I want to say is, if people don't believe, say, Dr. Manibua trust system of Facebook, this is what MTN is telling you.
Okay.
That Momo is what?
15 years old. Sabra no na no 15 years ago na ba me. Say no maybe a Bank of Ghana says
Zimbabwe and say Oku school or Canada. It's una so the mobile dental probability buy no. So hey,
chale.
Nyankrupo ya na na ni brase no de biada. Say ya nebo.
No, I've come to believe God and Kenya Mahama ne ba omia. No, let me be very honest. I've come to believe in the true nature of God. Say Nyankopon what nebuono.
Yeah.
Ono ankasa ni bremu no wafo.
Yeah.
Sabre ne bra e was what wo. Eti ebono what wo say pion na ba. Pion na ho.
And what say this year so what say Nyankopon yere no. Ba me akọ
didi so.
Obekọ ka say bia nyankopon na tew. Nyamia kleno okoka we a
na asa Nyankopon na de ne ba omi ato ne na so a wo twa ne to ma apio ka to tom hey Erika mo oduro wo nwom no ni abo no abono trap house ma dunkro e for the gas e branie and sendrefo amoko san sendrefo nsia mu no company bi a your friend of fact check for no o ma ba abonten the fact bi abeto abonten Peter Boame na say the mesi aboa wo no wo so boa me fe e mutual agreement o tutu ba chi adam so tutu afu so
hango
Peter Fatoso no mi ahwe
Peter Granting Fatoso ma
Peter Granting Fatoso se wanya moti na bonte amumu no Dwabo did 15 years.
15 years. And I hope I catch on the mobile money interoperability.
We have fact checking.
Debbie.
Dr. Omanebu Amatria on Facebook. No.
Yeah.
10 hours ago, Nebia Mumubi and Jinti.
Yeah.
And Obi Anshan MTN. The phone also.
Sir.
And ye de money your assem the Abramono. 15 years in here. Sabra number of me away. Fact check for your idea be.
More.
And is it me and I will not be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
To say, in my line of duty as a journalist, Mako event be a yema misikada.
Good.
But yedum pempenso wo my Ghana. And I'm sako nkofo wenti. Sika be ya dia abo Ghana for bebre.
Yeah.
It is a wodwumadi bi a na ye pese ye de kata mahama mo no NDC for nsem bi eso. Say you want to say Kachabi say we have every cause to raise issues.
More
power. And I be told you say and send for a call no. You momo 20,000. Hey, one last now call program bia. Unya bibi to say 10,000.
Hey, bra. Oga.
Everybody be no mo koye.
Eh, bisa 200 Ghana grab headings obenya.
No forget 200. 200 they thought that unya bi. I tell you American say. But 10,000 Ghana cedis.
10,000. 100 million can't it sikani mono.
Sikane free. Hey. Yamu say sikane free.
Nipa do e ko hoyi.
Nipa do almost 200 oh. And then for 200 and a call into obianya 10,000 and 2,000 ibia na. Ye bisa. Eti fact check for na ye. And on the about to just a fact check Ghana has confirmed that journalists indeed received 2,000 and 10,000 cedis at the Baumia presser. I can guess which people. No, forget that one. But yeah, Zika every
80. I'm for go beside doctor of pharmaceutical doctors in the United States. KB.
Yebisa. Hey, I cry and congrats and with the
Ekika. Congrats and
a brand copper.
Me the Daily Post, say, and Ukuda Anope. Ochem say NDC begins highlight of manifesto promise sector by sector. It's one of our friends I'm traveling and I'm sorry Dr. Clementa Park ni phone and Vesa Midjanfi Dr. Bayu no mufoni aba juma ye papa wanga chiriche mukama kama inti pictures ni nyina so ewa ha apomoding FM health wachem security bambo NFA education ni nyina no wachere mu ewo ahanom asem fofora na no pe Daily Post e de aba no kwa ma menkyere mu kakra unse na no yera John Dramani Mahama bra osan si sudue pi o ka se ohamu chichemu du to why da eye betting so no obeyi efri ho no nipa bi di nam social media erichem se no mampanin eye Mahama esan so Kristo ni na adenti na support to sa bi oba betting eye this etia Kristo sum ene niamaniam kwa mama chem se Ghana eye secular nation. Ghana is not governed by either Christianity, Muslim tradition and a secular nation. Nipa oye Director General man National Lottery Authority so ko sorry or SDA adenti eno no de omo kan chani se no de onya adwuma ne ye ho afibia SDA fu omo bo afore so de sika koma wo
point ne say
me point America ne say yero John Dramani Mahama so be yefi obeyi sa 10% to na that betting so no efi ho no mu a enya de bone he ene lotto obi atwa lotto e wo ni phone so
I was so obeyi afra manfo agya to
denti na ono amudi nam social media na pese me
forget to
mama me twa so enkomanim me di Breso Sam Chronicle betwa so or the NDC fo ehihyaye a wo be di baba e wo education afam e wo manifesto no mu no or the phone ni aba e wo
ha say na no Kwame I love you ha say oka adehye na omoboa me church president Mama ya what they ba within the education sector. Kwame I love you kind of Caneno National Association of Graduate Teachers
no your president
Obatete Kofo administration power.
Kwame I love you.
Lovely.
Kwame Chronicle biom and I'm mu ochem say Baumia related as Kofi Japan's YEA passes out 100k youth after rigorous skills training. Hey,
HSA.
Ochem say Baumia say Nenieje say Ora Kofi Japan on chief executive officer Edinburgh National Youth Authority and as a National Youth Agency Authority. Wanga buama wanga titu mebumba say mpimi du so obenya nsano adwuma ye kwam the same abankroyano catch so the Ghana mebu akogene Independence Square NAPCO over 100,000 Independence Square so and funny per 100,000 and funny per 45 and na musse moto ni per 100,000
ale it's Chronicle actually onya kenkan bi why
Ghanaian Times kwam Ghanaian Times
say baby aye dunu ye bogum
kikikisa bogum Ghanaian Times Ochim say wasin sohwe Eric so you know WAEC West Africa Examination Council for chim say akyerɛkyerɛfo besia na sabre won sa so won pechi ɛwɔ aba exams na yɛ retwere no niema bi ntuto exams more practice mu
no mo boa ma asuafo na wiem senki akyerɛ ma de yi a adenti na ne akyerɛkyerɛfo ɛde ɔmo mpa to so aboa ma asuafo awia
ayo
enso hemu
arehosem
no se free SHS na ekoye senkyerɛkyerɛ ntete ɛkɔ so sɛ de ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkɔ so a adenti na ato yɛ ne saa de wei ɛwanya first time o
no enya na edi kan ne daily graphic na medru so sabro chem se katafeto so do ebiesa no chem o se yesante hene ahimfo basa na sabre wetu won ade so ne nyina nam galansem sa mimu unya bia obetumi akenkan na ode eye waye nsem na san aba ewo mame ko herade so esanche bre no ene o chem se Cocoa board bosses hide $87 million debt of old European banks. Reasons for no syndicated loan.
Can it tree no muntie?
Mame kenkan ye. Herald mo kyerem say Cocoa board mpanyefo a wo muda Cocoa board ya no yi no. Eka a wo mudi amanonesi kakrabia dodo be say eye million dollars no eye edo wotwe esong $87 million. Eka ye di won ninti ena yenti min ko jebusa for free
power FM. Can it say the musika no?
Okay.
Wo mu de sa kan sie.
Won de sie won amoso won de sie
etianu nti
ena yentumi enkonya busia enfemfiri amanone sika korabia ahoro nchen emfa meto eye koko
Herald amane bone ne hwehwe mu no
ne odi abani
unya kenkan
obetumi akenkan Chief Justice using General Legal Counsel to rescue unpopular Ejapa Mesa. And no soon some ewumunya bia obetumi akenka Mahama returns Baumia fire at media encounter. Enuna ye di kan abobi ede akyeremo intu unye bia obetumi akenkan ewum na semba kwa ye raje diem eka enuna wo ashama kwa mi mani je ye papa pa chemse o se Baumia o kakra bi o kase ba bia na efei Use nsɛmtwerɛfo yɛ mehia na mebisa wo nsɛm yɛ behia wo bisa wo nsɛm afi
to obi akasa ratatata and mama sɛ obi ɔbɛyɛ sɛ bia no ɛtorofo
ɔnka no kware
ɛtorofo na ɛyɛ ne aduru deɛ den a ɛyɛ na ne kasa yɛ saa obi a wonim sɛ ɔkasa yɔ wabrɛ a wɔm break ɛnɛ deɛ baa ne sɛn ɛne yɛbisi wasɛm a woyɛ ɛbaa ne sɛn
wodwene ho a wonti
sɛ maama ebisa
ɛna ebisa saa asɛm no kwam ɛna yɛ ukuda
yes
eti minim sɛ let's talk educational consult
why krado
eti obeba madam Dati Sampofo on Bishop Akwesi Hemans lovely morning kwam me bra panyin eni nuanda fem ɛyɛ jonana ne agbozo ni nuanda fem eti na otwe na wie ye beko lume avete akokra na chi
lovely morning kwam me da say his royal blackness KKD baby a wo bia me mo achi thank you for doing the listening I say I'm locked KD baby a wo bia me cha no pay lawyer Duji Tamaklo salute that's right or kwado with Dwabo Ase our power 97.9 and a TVXYZ Mami Janet Akoli baby a wo bia salute 5,000 megawatts of salute lovely and I know kind of you say health alert clinic yefurumukro yade eye ulcer no what the kwadan mo mbete ne te eba ulcer treatment ya jo matumo enye se me hehe mani na aka asemo ya jo matum ena oba fichiko mo how what the call health alert oh kicking in the dom a doctor for nim the form mapa omo ho mbete ne te ye wonu pa ye de be ma wo wonemu anasa honemu ahihye wo edura na dwa wontimi na woni so ebiri wo wakoma no ebo peri enyina faako said akoma na si akosoro no wodwe ho a wonti ase hypertension fere nyina bedan wo health alert clinic Nkrabata no or twapete Ghana fana nyina ebu Medina Kaswa Poku Ase Ashaman and Atakrade oye adwuma fridwa da kosi meme nda fra no pa no so kosi anwumrebere mu no num and otena se e wo health alert clinic ubetwa from 0242518893 and 0242518865 health Power alert yakwana heba health alert your health is your wealth meant to do apomodi ase kra mese wuti pa wo kra kodokota ho wo yefuru ya yakitu abi kra kodokota ho enra hwehwemu beto odwa na mehwe wo MSNBC wose nanse nuane a ye didie no ama ɛyɛ nanoplastic plastic akɔhyehyɛ nkɔɔfo adwene mu nanoplastics rubber akɔhyehyɛ nkɔɔfo adwene mu enuane a yɛkɔtɔ a na yɛde ahyɛ rubber mu enuane a yɛde gu rubber mu ne yɛdi firi rubber mu rubber ɛdeda yɛpo mu yɛnsuo mu ɛyɛ na fishes no mene no ne yɛakɔkye fish kuro yɛ ne yɛawe wonim deɛ ɛkɔɔ mu health alert ɔkɔ ne hɛbaa well, abraço, you call Let's Talk Education Consult. Obuju media opportunity education time bomb. Yadi bremo radio so power 97.9. But mama share with TV so you know maybe at the chamo share way the TV.
will go through our 120-day social contract. The things we'll do in the first 120 days after we leave Independence Square on 7th January 2025. One, we'll put in place a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials in line with the principles of ethical leadership, modesty, humility, integrity, and accountability. We will nominate all our cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval within the first 14 days in office. We would have named all our cabinet ministers. We will constitute the leanest and most efficient government in the history of the Fourth Republic in the first 90 days in office. We will hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. Number 5, we'll commence the drafting of needed legal amendments and preparation for the implementation of the 24-hour economy policy under the office of the President. Number 6, we will establish an accelerated export development council, which I will personally chair, to promote exports as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Number 7, we'll convene a national consultative conference on education with CHAS, NAGRAT, NAT, CCT, NAPS, CETAG, Vice Chancellors Ghana, PRINCOF, TEWU, UTAG, PTAs, students, think tanks, academia, parents, and other stakeholders to build consensus on the improvement of our education sector, including the free SHS. Number 8, we'll scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardship and ease the high cost of doing business in our first 90 days in office. 1, e-levy. 2, COVID levy. 3, betting tax. 4, emissions levy. And we'll review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. 9, we'll introduce the no academic fee stress policy for all first-year students in public tertiary educational institutions, in universities, in technical universities, in polytechnics, colleges of education, nursing training institutions, under our no fee stress initiative. We will budget for this, and the money will be given to the Student Loan Trust. It will register all the level 100 students, and it will pay the money to their universities on their behalf so that they don't have to go and pay anything. It will be a grant. It's not be a loan. It will be a grant, so they don't have to pay for it. 10, we'll introduce the following social intervention policies. 1, free tertiary education for persons with disability. The Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund, which will be a fund that will help the treatment of kidney ailments, hypertension, heart disease, high blood pressure, and all those kinds of things. We'll commence within 120 days the distribution of free sanitary pads to female students in basic and secondary schools. 11, we will institute inquiries or forensic audits into the following matters of public interest. 1, MPP's collapse of indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. We'll institute an audit into the illegal printing of money by the Bank of Ghana to finance the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. We'll investigate the 58 million National Cathedral scandal. We'll investigate the COVID-19 expenditure scandal. We'll investigate corruption scandals including the PDS, Ejapa, SML, ambulance spare parts, 13th All-African Games, SkyTrain, Kwalugu Dam, mass sets, Galamsey fraud, missing excavators, missing tricycles, illegal and inflated single source contracts, bus scandals, and many others. We institute a government policy banning all political appointees and politically exposed persons from buying any state assets. We allocate seed money within 120 days for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank to support women-owned and women-led businesses. We will launch the following priority job creation programs in the budget. The first is Ejumawura, that is the entrepreneurial project to promote 10,000 young entrepreneurs and mentor them. The 1 million coders program will roll out a Made in Ghana agenda to promote the production and consumption of locally produced goods, particularly through leveraging of government spending power. 15, we review the Customs Amendment Act 2020 to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles, to rescue the local automotive industry in Swami Magazine, Konkompe, Aboso Okai, and all others. 16, we will lay before Parliament a new bill to usher in a new era of government scholarship administration, which will, among others, prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships and eliminate political patronage, cronyism, nepotism, and corruption in the award of government scholarships. We will make the scholarships process transparent, publish the names of everybody who is given a scholarship so that the whole country will know who are getting those scholarships. 17, we will aggressively confront the illegal mining menace and place a ban on illegal and new mining activities in forest reserve and roll out our Tree for Life and Blue Water initiative to heal and sustainably harness the environment by turning areas and water bodies degraded by illegal mining into economic and ecological recovery hubs. 18, we'll launch the Black Star Experience. It's our major creative industry and tourism initiative. So the Black Star Experience will be launched. It's an initiative as Ghana's flagship culture, arts, creative industry, and tourism brand to transform Ghana into a preferred hub for creative industry and tourism. 19, we'll commence investigative processes to purge state security agencies of all militia and vigilante elements who are causing havoc in our country. 20, we'll reopen investigations into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 election killings, Ayawaso West Wagomba election violence, murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas Wulo Chame. 21, we'll initiate a probe into the man-made disaster caused by the VRA spillage from the Akosombo and Kon dams that displaced and destroyed the livelihoods of thousands of citizens in the Volta region. And we will take immediate steps to provide compensation for the victims, including those in the lower Volta, those in Oti, those in Bunu East, those in the Savannah regions, and other areas that were affected by the flooding. We'll carry out a shake-up of all loss-making SOEs and realign them to break even and transition into profit-making. This is our social contract with the people. A lot of people ask me, you're going to find an economy in a mess. How are you going to handle all this? We're going to realign our expenditure. We're going to cut out waste. We'll realign the budget so that we can create more fiscal space in order to finance these projects. We're going to use innovative methods to raise the resources so that we can finance these projects. We're going to prioritize, strictly prioritize, and select the most important projects that will create immediate benefits for the people of Ghana. We're going to put our money where our mouths are. That is what a new NDC government is going to do.
When you smile, no one walk with
dia to dwade fa na ni suade hunu wabra woba ene kwan a wofa so e dia bebo my Ghana eyi afriku nkwaso mi mu eno na eyi a kyeremo our radio so near Kasafa Let's Talk Education Consult omo number ni bio 0249 069821 0249 Shoma Chakwa Touching in West State Mango Street e one omo wo ebraso
when you laugh
Ghana Health Therapeutics
to laugh out loud cause it will carry
yes pa
your cares away.
We are laughing out loud
and when you see the beauties all around and in yourself.
Kevin Taylor twema adwensi bibi so Osika Ghana yeda so tua ye ka akasabre cedi to dollar ne ye nam 24 cedis so
Carry on
hey
when the troubles come
Chale it no be easy o akeda so tua ye ka
when you drink
sasabre e ka no ye tu acheda meboa yese mahama na enoma akese se fota no eti ye pia so se mahama so aka no ye wi ani akogina opposition ya ka se mahama mamu enye
when you
Adiesu komu aya na ye no mafias Medical Ghana Health Therapeutics Dr. Ayakrado Obama Church no mo mugina mane no mo mugusu omo ye e Ghana Health Therapeutics and executive
prostate and herbal center.
Doctor
Executive prostate and
herbal center. Doctor Kwaba maje so.
Yeja. We be are boko there.
Ye nua de kanu abeboa. Na yeja de. Ada babo akokra by force. Obi abeso babo akokra.
Economy na ma obi akokra wa. Emu odin o.
Ye. Enough for
emu odin.
Ba ni nyina mu no so mugu so amoboa amanfo.
Sa pepepe.
E de bo no so ba bi e da na da.
Sa na da.
Mo se sa.
You change price ni.
Wow.
You change price even in this hard economy. You maintain your prices. It no anopay die ye den komohwam ene fi Ghana Health Therapeutics. Na ye da edi kan ya wutie ya. E Ghana Health for ye na ye de Ghana Bam. Ghana Bam amuni na amunim Ghana Bam ye na ye de say draway eba edwaman so. Na ye de research ye nam so produce sa bam gwa so we no. A produce in raho draw bit say 500, Crypto 400, Prostar Joy and Ghana Man capsules. Indroni nina available across all pharmacies and herbal shops nationwide. Baby bia obefebria no obenya Ghana Herb for yen dro papa no ewo ho. Na Ghana Herb for ya say bie hospital nwanwaso hospital wa ultra modern ye neat ye were very very spacious parking area. Yes sir were very 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 professional working staff ewo honom. Na your hospital needing ye executive prostate and herbal center. Executive prostate and herbal center. Ghana Bam for kasa ye hospital. Na ye be ewo Medina UPSA Road niswa. Ye fre baby Pelma Hotel Junction. Pelma Hotel Junction. Na hospital wanwaso executive prostate and herbal center ewo. Na oba executive prostate and herbal center nia efe ewo ho ene say ye working staff and oma mo ye adwuma wo ni na no obi ade enimtie ene serie ene hia from the car park to the reception area to nursing station ehon e be check your vitals your BP ene your temperature ne ade to the consulting rooms are professional medical doctors ewa omo ne obedi nkita ho na oma hwe oyare no ekwan ya efa so baaye ene bebi a wugina sisi a na oma gina so a request laboratory test a wo hia ene ebia se wo hia scan nso a oma be request the amount ufi honom na se ukoye lab station honom a bebi a ye fe phlebotomy room na honom na action ni na wo phlebotomy room honom na action ni na wo eti honom no se o sample bi no mo hia se ye wo moja se eye wo jonso a omo beji ni na de akwakoye lab test na ye hwehwemu no I make sure say omo provide with the correct laboratory results ebe boa doctor no we gina so no ama correct and accurate diagnosis. Now, so when you say obetwa scanning, so I scan my very experienced sonographer, very experienced sonographer. Why ye juma over several years. On my way more top hospitals. It's on one kasa no say otro lab scan report at the mawa. What they call be bia now could different scan reporter. wobɛhu sɛ ɛyɛ sɛne ɛteɛ na ɛyɛ pɛpɛɛpɛ saa na ɛtiefoɔ metwe mo adwene asi bibi so adeɛ bi wɔ hɔ a ɛrekɔ so ɛwɔ health industry nim a megye di sɛ ɛho hia sɛ yɛka ho asɛm mpɛn pii no obi wɔ hɔ a ɔyare ɔbɛkɔ hospital bi sɛ ɔkɔ akɔgye treatment ɛwɔ hɔnom na sɛ odu hɔnom first time no ɔkɔ a ɔmoma ne nnuro na wakɔ akɔnom ebi a ɔmoma ne yɛ labs bi na ɔmo de saa report no ato ɔmama ɔno nso ɛkɔpe sɛ ɔnkipu onipa ne kɔ na sɛ eduro no kɔnom na anye adwuma symptoms na onipa ko ne de ba the first time no saa symptoms na egusu ɛwɔ hɔnom na sɛ wokɔ hospital hɔnom a na sɛ wokɔ kɔ repeat wo lab ne kyerɛw sɛ wo improve nso a adeɛ ne yɛ wo no ugusu hu symptoms no eti na afe create a lot of confusion in you say why is the lab result showing that I am very very well and as me ho atomy every problem and me de buy enim na so me with the enim de me go so face sa problem ne wo ho e lab forgery result forgery koso e a lot of the hospitals me pamocho mo nhye ne so fama yen enu nti na ehun hia say we de bia dani na o patronize hospital a obepe baby a omo hefra accreditation ne patre say ehonum na impenifo authorities na giatum say omo lab results no very standard na Ghana help for your hospital executive prostate and herbal center no licensed by the authorities it no say your mount lab result correct and accurate lab result any the amount ehun hia say was say Oba Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. Sani America de dano. Ye Medina UPS road in this. Accra College of Education kwani so. Ye fra baby Pilma Hotel Junction. Pilma Hotel Junction. Udu ono mabu ye billboard. Kesiye ewo hono my bed director. Edi akọ Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. Ema edi executive ni mbo hu. Hono yenje consultation fee. Sika obe spendi wo honom indra obeto ne labs ne cancer obetwa ewo honom eno nko ahu sika na obetua. Afen so edi prostate na ewo hono. Etwese ye prostate specialist. Ye prostate specialist. Yare bia how prostate. Yare bia how prostate, prostatitis, benign prostatic hyperplasia, and as all the other no kokramumpa. Nini na no yehwe ewo Executive Prostate and Herbal Center asuyeye. Afen so no say o yare bia say hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, nini na no yehwe and so Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. In Roni de ebusu pi ewo Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. Na indro no enye de out ne kwa ne gusu wo ya wondra wudra ba Executive Prostate and Herbal Center doctors no based on diagnosis from the bema no omo be gina so ama indro nam ai hu hia ne oma chew the correct and accurate dose a hu hia sania edro no mritie mo pe ofa ho beto na the key thing na ewo Executive Prostate and Herbal Center aswe any say doctors for no omo use per kilogram body weight and na e calculate omo dosing eti no say bia one akosua ne ama na eba hospital wa ke akosua ebia omu we akosua ye 10 kilograms ye we ekua ye 50 kilograms wakasa we ya we say uma omu ni na the same dose of the drug it is not going to act effectively ewo omu mienu ni mu enu ti na hu hia say we ye doctor ni a obe calculate per kilogram body weight no now there ye dose no na omunya the therapeutic effect no muhia no eti Executive Prostate and Herbal Center there oba mathematics a course work consulting rooms no eti for eseweni eti for obi afa na nintre Executive Prostate and Herbal Center asweye yare bia obeti bi adwe hu bia no ye hwe ewo Executive Prostate and Herbal Center ye numbers no me de betu jatew eye 0244 727028 0244 727028. Yeah, was 0276 814 884 0276 814 884 and it was 0537 266 300 0537 266 300. Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. No consultation fee. Executive Prostate and Herbal Center. My cured. Obi afa na ni nkyerɛ me de manuel si.
That's the doctor as always say it require be say ya beto bo ase. Cheche nsɛm kyerɛ ne nti a ye de ho to Ghana Herb and afi so executive prostate and herbal center so a ye nto ye sika entwene ye be say share bi o na atwe se de ye da se e was your Dwabo Ase ni Part 97.9 and a TVXYZ Odobu ha a wicked love is wicked Akra Kofi Dako Sanso na kwabena benefo a message or the boss well done Kwame and I no pay what boami hunu ba umia was said you was a Ghana for nyina hunu no mo pano hon to man pay ye mama mo piafo Felicia Abla atedele at the message about so good morning comments up pillar 2 also baby ojina no ojina and Abla Alberto was still some of you are living in darkness. So you can see that what MPP and Nana Ado has done for Ghanaians. And yeah, they would have Bubobi Chray. Would they yen no Bubobi Chray? Who say na mensa at the message about so commensa? Nadia na okikain. And massa, my platform when be tutu futro biangu obiani show. No yet Joseph Note was more fire Kwame. And on Bebe Shukura a message on the by also Kwame. MPP is a frustrated bunch of buggers who don't know anything about our country and where it needs to be. My goodness. If you're a Baba, you're dead. A Jano Baba shot. A Christian dog by a message on the by also Kwame. You are perfect. You are na crack of Dako. Tell John Dramani Mama to check spiritual waters. You yate. Wama Kwame I love you asre. Hey Kwame I love you Jordan Jacob Kufuoni. Yes sir. Yes sir boss. Emmanuel Usu. Okay Kwame I love you Jordan Jacob Kufuoni. Na ma for this aban sisa obesisa nensa no. Aban sisa e baby anu ogina na anu ogina okoso kuma akyerɛkyerɛfoɔ sɛ akyerɛkyerɛfoɔ bɛdi yie sɛ ba yɛ adesua ho nsɛm a yɛbɛtoto nneɛma yie sɛ de bɛyɛ a yɛde ɛma kɔ suku a ɔmo tiri bɛbɔ bill na nneɛma amanɔnefoɔ no yie no yɛbɛtumi nya bi wɔ ɔman Ghana ha na na amanfoɔ ka so obɛgya ko no ogu so ogyina branea wɔko ɛde ɛma Ghana ɛnɛ John Dramani Mahama ne NDC ho nsɛm a ɔmaka ɔmo hyehyɛ ahodoɔ ɔmo de ato dwa ɛde afa ɛnoɔma a ɔmo bɛyɛ ama the educational sector no asa afa ne ntoma pɛɛfra no ɛna ɔbaa bɛboa me yɛnya yɛ ho nteaseɛ wɔ abere a wɔaba studios yɛbɛhyɛ nkɔmmɔtwetwe no ase ma meka sɛ wokɔ Franco Trading Enterprise a ɔmo da so ayɛ phone papa paa fie phone papa paa bi a wopɛ atɔ bi a wobɛwura Franco a wo nsa bɛka bi atɔ bɔmframa nwunwunwui ɛyɛ Franco air condition ne dɔ so po paa wobɛnya bi ɛwɔ hɔ a yɛhwɛ ɔman Ghana yɛwie mu sakra ɛbɔberɛ so ɛne ayɛ Franco air condition wokɔ Franco Trading Enterprise a wo nsa bɛka bi atɔ ɛna ɛyɛ CCTV cameras obambo nti pɛbi tɔ firi hɔ smart TV ahodoɔ washing machine ne nyina wɔ Franco Trading Enterprise. You can call them now on 0555-939311 and at 02464-22338. Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone Papa Perfie. And Opa Mikasa 21st Clinic as sciatica expert. They remain the first and only sciatica expert in Africa. They are the only sciatica expert with the Sciatica Research Center in Africa. Basic causes of sciatica, yen time for your journey and go home. Prolonged standing and sitting. Atenasiache, yejina wache, sitting with a wallet in our back pocket. Wrong sitting posturings. They can affect your spine and cause that pain. Prolonged taking of some medication. To say diabetes a drop, any BP a drop. Nina to me the sciatica yibo. It's the 21st clinic catch or say. So what is that or yaw ninka? A titi where my own na bromun chain on betia fro. From 0540311311 0540311311 21st clinic sciatica expert. Alright, I feel I'm not yet saying come out to and say doom pempen so be you better see bet me activate phone lines now. Now mu be more questions no. Mu bet me the questions no abetu any wabra. Eja Kwame Alovi eboa ye amienya ye ho ntiase wonia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ene NDC amanyuko no ede ato matirim omo asini poso mo baba beye wabra Ghana for eto ede amomo wabra ye ko 2024 about when bend that me hu dada sanse na papa bishu me hu dada mumu bebra maba Facebook ye hu nyina Kwame Alovi, good morning to you, sir. I hope you're doing well.
I'm very good by His grace.
Good to see you. You're looking younger and younger.
So, I thank God for that.
Energy
is by His grace.
Where have you been, sir?
Oh, I've been in Ghana. I've been around trying to help the party in the education communication.
Okay. And we'll come to the education communication and what your party is telling Ghanaians. But so far, Anosha said your mind Ghana, your man education is it here. What would be your description of the state of education from basic to tertiary level?
I would say it's collapsing. Education is collapsing. Very, very disappointing. Every sector that you take, from pre-tertiary to the university to the tertiary level, things are collapsing. And we need to rescue or reset the education sector.
Even with the advent of free SHS and the fact that, look, the president and the vice president who is running for president now is touting, say, and only idea ma any awofono. Even with that?
No doubt, free SHS is a very good policy. But the implementation has been problematic, very chaotic. So if you have a good policy, you don't have a good implementation plan, then you will not get the result that you want. And that's what we're experiencing under this regime.
And many have criticized this government for not paying particular attention to our kids at the basic level. What is that attention that they need that they are not getting?
For about 8 terms now, which is equivalent to almost 3 years, there's no payment of capitation grant to head teachers at the basic school. So that's the main, education is free at the basic level.
Yes.
Okay? Free compulsory. And that's the only source of income the head teachers get at the basic school level to run the business. Most of them are running the schools with their own money. They go for loans. Sometimes even if they call them to come for some materials from the education offices, instead of the office delivering the things at the school, they call them to come. They have to use their own money to get vehicles to go.
Wow.
So that's the, if you look at for about 3-4 years now, sporting activities, casual activities have collapsed.
Yes.
Not only at the basic school, but even at the second cycle level.
Yeah.
The last time that we had any national sports festival in Bolga was 2019.
Wow.
Yes. They absorb the fees, but they are not giving the grants to the schools to run those activities. And if you don't develop the sports at the lower level, how do you get it at the national level?
But I remember when you were a teacher union leader, things like this could trigger labor agitations. Why are we not seeing any of that for the past 7 to 8 years? I mean, is it the case that they don't care about it or what?
I think we are in a different regime. My time as Nagra president was different. But somebody jokingly told me that you are lucky that you are not the president of Nagrat in this regime, they would have killed you. That's what somebody told me.
Wow.
Those days, the politicization of the labor front was not so intense as we have it now. So now, if the labor union even want to take an action, they have to look over their shoulders to see whether people are behind them or not. So the infiltration of politics into the mainstream of labor has more or less made the leaders become very conscious.
Infiltration in what form? That they are within the union, that they are politicians within the union. Is that what you're suggesting?
It appears the welfare of teachers is no longer their concern, but the existence of their political parties has become their concern. So if you are fighting for a welfare issue, and somebody feels that it will more or less embarrass my government, then they will sit back.
Wow.
But I manage about 4 national teacher platforms and 2 others in the central region. And if you look at the discussions on those platforms, you see that the leaders are in difficulty.
What are those discussions?
Sometimes, whenever they are initiating an action,
yeah,
those whose parties are in power, they will be asking for caution, or take time, or do this, or do this. There are sometimes that even they label the labor union leaders as pro this government or pro this government. Yes.
Wow.
So when you're also conscious of that, when you are moving, it becomes difficult for you to move.
Na just when you want kasa wadwen emfa nkasa mfa dia esi wo suku mu ene de empoetro ye ma no because of the politicization of the issues.
2020.
Wow.
The Minister of Education,
yes,
Napo went to Volta region to organize teachers over there.
The running mate of the year.
Yes. He told them, somebody sent me a recording of his voice, that they should form, the MPP teachers also form a teacher union and have leaders as strong as Kwame Alovi to fight for the party. Yes. So that's it. You can have, those days don't have even labor union leaders. Look, when I was president of NAGRAT, my central regional member on council, national council, contested for a party political opposition, NDC.
Yeah.
I asked him to step down. He stepped down.
On the basis of he was politically exposed. Wow.
Our constitution says that our union is non-political. The same thing, you go to Upper West. The former deputy regional minister, Sizakali, was our regional secretary, NAGRA's regional secretary.
That's right.
One Mutiu, also they contested on the ticket of the NDC. One lost, one won. I removed them from office because of that. But now, people don't have any fear of doubling politics when it comes to.
So what has emboldened them?
It appears, as I said, that I can't understand.
Because the reason I'm asking these questions are purely born out of love for our country and our future. Because I cannot wrap my head around why subventions are not coming through, activities that are supposed to help the kids grow. We don't have money to fund them, and then teachers are looking on.
You know, I think that monetization is also a factor. I had a student that I taught at Fansfield School, 1993-94. I once met him in a mechanical workshop when I was going to service my car, and he walked to me. He is now a religious leader, a pastor, and he said they were called to a meeting by the ruling government. At a meeting, just lasted for 1 hour, and we were giving brown envelope. He didn't open over there. When he got home, he opened. He was shocked to see the amount inside that as their TNT.
Say. Your mom say.
He said 20,000.
20,000
in 2020. Yes.
In 2020.
Yes, 2020.
So 20,000.
Yes.
Wow.
So he said he felt so bad that as a religious leader, he saw children lying on their stomach to write, students not having furniture to sit on, sitting on rocks.
Yet.
And for him, a man of God, to have that money just for an hour meeting, he felt so bad.
Okay.
About that money.
We can talk about the problems all day, but we are here because of the solutions. You made it clear to us from Saturday and even yesterday when Dr. Clement Apak took his turn to speak. Some of the bold vision that you have going forward. Let's start from the basic level up to tertiary.
Okay.
What are the plans?
No, let's first identify the problems at the basic level. As I said earlier on, the neglect of the basic school because they are not of age to vote. So the concentration is on the second cycle level where the students, many of them will vote. So as I said, about for 8 terms, because you have 3 terms in a year. So 8 terms are closely to 3 years. Capitation grant has not gone over there. There's collapse of the system over there. Even sometimes, the banned activities of the PTAs also. You remember 2020 when some head teachers in Accra asked the PTAs to pay money for their school fees.
That's right.
They were demoted. All right.
We remember.
They were demoted. So if money has not come, how do I organize my examinations? That's one thing. Furniture is a problem. As we speak now, about over 1 million students at the pupils at the basic school don't have furniture.
But furniture issues hasn't always been a problem.
But it's
at the basic level.
I remember some time when Dr. Baumia went to the Upper West region.
Yes, he did.
Where he donated some furniture.
That's
he
right.
promised that when they came into a government, it will not exist.
Yes.
But it has multiplied over 1 million.
Okay.
It has increased. So if you were in opposition and you went to do that, donate furniture to school in the Upper West region, and now you are in government, and the number of students have had increased. Those without furniture have increased. And then what have you come to do? As I speak now, over 5,000 schools are under trees. We tried to remove them during our time, but when they came, they have neglected them. Remember, there was a Facebook post I posted where the Minister of Education said, you're going to paint schools blue and this.
That's right.
And I presented a school with a cash.
Yes.
That you should give him paint to go and paint that this. That's the this. They neglect over there. You look at Afram Prince, for instance, where one teacher, a lady, was handling from class 1 to class 6.
Yes.
You saw the video.
Absolutely.
And so that's the neglect of the basic school.
But not, that neglect, again, I go back to it.
Yeah.
That neglect has been there over the years.
Yes.
Over the years.
Every government tries to do something, but it should not be multiplying. It should not be increasing. If measures are taken to address them, then the number of those schools should be decreasing rather than increasing. So if you have come into power and the number has rather increased, that means that we are not doing what we are supposed to do.
Okay.
As I said, the concentration now is on the senior high school where they need to get the votes.
So if I get you, the difference between you and the MPP is that when you came to meet this challenge at the basic level, there were attempts to reduce the excruciating pain that comes with it.
We removed over 3,000 schools under trees.
3,000 schools under trees. Okay.
So you tell us how many they have also removed.
Right.
And this is not those schools, dilapidated school structures. You know, a school collapse in a central region on some peoples.
Yes.
Those dilapidated ones are not part of these 5,000 schools under trees. So the picture is more bizarre than I've presented.
All right. Yeah. And quite apart from that, what else are the problems? I mean, I've heard some of the teachers or some parents complain about the lack of books for the awards to study.
You know, is it 2019 that they brought the so-called standard curriculum?
Curriculum, yes.
I don't know what it means that in a way. And when for 3 years there was no textbook, they said they are giving them some packs to go and listen.
Yes.
But the packs are not textbooks. The textbooks are needed for both the teachers and the pupils. So that when they get back to their houses, they can revise whatever has been taught by the teachers. And they don't give anything. As yesterday, when I talked to Dr. Clement Park, the record in Parliament was that only 65% of the books have been supplied.
Wow.
So there's a chunk of the textbook that have not been supplied to the pupils. And most of them have now progressed from the primary 6 to senior high school now. And GSS to senior high school now.
That's right.
For the GSS, it appears it was completely neglected.
Yeah.
So they are now going to, according to their program, start a new program of that curriculum in SHS 1.
Okay.
Why they have not gotten the textbooks to read? You know, they have even said they're organizing some examination. Year 2, class 2, class 4, class 6. You know what happened? The first time they attempted, they expect the pupils to transport themselves to other venues to ride. The exam started, somebody sent me an email, exam started at 7 p.m. Instead of 8 a.m., where the teachers were using torchlight.
The exam started at
7 telling you,
7 p.m.
From Western region, the exam started at 7 p.m. when the teachers were using their phones at torchlight for the pupils to write.
And these are pupils in which class?
Class 2.
What?
They went there from morning to evening without food.
Wow.
Not even in their schools, so other schools outside their district.
Wow.
And they were not fed. They waited until about 7 p.m. Instead of this, they don't want the thing to say it has collapsed. So they insisted that they should know. Papers have not reached them at that time. So they wrote the examination at 7 p.m. Where I had videos of teachers sending to me their phones as torchlight for them to write.
Hey. So what are the solutions you're proffering?
No, for this, I would say we will more or less ensure prompt disbursement of capitation grant to the basic schools over there, so that the head teachers can have money to organize their lessons. And we also intend to aggressively tackle the more or less the schools under trees to ensure that they also have some basic environment to listen. Then the teachers, the rural areas have the major problems. this policy of caring for teachers in the rural areas has been there.
That's right.
But trust that Mahama has been there before, and he has promised that teachers that were set posting to the rural school and those who are there will be given 20% of their salaries to entice them to remain, to go there and remain there.
And that is their take home.
Take home.
20%
so
of it.
Whatever you take as your salary,
yes,
20% of that will be given to you in addition.
Wow.
To motivate you to go there and stay.
Have you done a research that gives you an idea of how this will motivate people to accept postings into
it has been there during my time. I remember we met at the GS Council and we even drew we defined what a rural school is or a deprived school is. Taking into account nearness to a health facility, communication system, the road network, water, electricity, and so forth. We defined those areas, a distance within which or beyond which the school can be classified as deprived. But they look at the numbers and said, hey, the numbers are too huge. So if the numbers are too huge, then close down the schools. So what I'm saying, Mama has been there before, and now he's coming back. So he promised that will be done.
Kwame, how is this going to culminate into quality teaching and learning at a basic level? Of course, watch this. A number of parents, including myself, will not want their kids to go to the public basic school because of quality teaching and learning. So how is this going to culminate into quality teaching and learning?
One policy that, if the basic school starts from KG, the early childhood is not considered.
Yes.
We are considering of making early childhood part of the basic school system. Do you get me? And get more or less a department with the Ministry of Education for early childhood education to focus on that. They go to private early childhood schools, then proceed to the KG, then they remain in the private schools. But if you start with the public sector, they will pass through the system seamlessly to the public schools. And even in bucket areas where mothers don't have a place to keep their distance, we establish daycare centers for them so that they can also have a place where to keep their children and be at work. So that's one thing that over there. Then, with the capitation grant being released on time and even upgraded, the head teachers can have time to plan for the examination. Then the text, at our time, each child had 4 needed textbooks.
That's right.
1 child to 4 textbooks.
Yeah.
We are going to revive that policy to ensure that each child has the requisite number of textbooks that they need at the basic schools to study.
All right. And I'm sure there are other policies
that
you intend implementing.
We are looking at a smart start curriculum for greater integration of STEM, in coding and digital literacy into TVET and the basic school from all levels. The STEM is not going to be assigned to a school, a STEM school, no. We are going to integrate the STEM to all the levels, from basic to the highest level, so that anywhere they find themselves, this STEM education will be part of their career.
Not just a science, engineering,
science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Mathematics, no.
Yes.
Anka omudi besi ombako akosi school baako naga sasa school no nkwana okwa obetimenya santete no. Mode fra school bia bekom bia no.
There's a STEM.
There's a STEM education.
Start from the beginning,
wow.
So they grow up with it, so that it doesn't become. Listen, they also have the furniture for all initiative to address the high deficit of furniture in those schools. An aggressive policy to make sure that those schools that don't have the furniture will be giving the furniture to work with.
But do you have the numbers as to the number of schools that lack furniture and how many they need? Do you have all these worked out?
About 1 million they don't have furniture. Over 1 million, and over 5,000 schools under trees. So we have the data. We've done.
Do you have the money to fund this?
People will be asking where you get money to. When it comes to the SS and the university,
yeah, because even at the basic level, you need money.
Yes.
And there's no fiscal space.
No, let me tell you before.
At this time,
the money that we have. I've not come to the SHHS, but for the free SSN and other levels, we intend to have a dedicated and sustainable source of funding for this project by ring-fencing a percentage of our oil revenue. So each year, the amount of money we get from our oil revenue, a percentage will be set aside for educational purposes to fund this education portion. Then the GET fund was set up in Rawlings' time, purposely for education funding.
That's right.
This government has done two things to the GET fund. One, they've collateralized it and taken a loan ahead that would finish paying in 2035 or so, 15 years. Apart from that, whatever is left, they have capped it. They will say that, we are giving only 25%. I heard they say that even came to 17%.
Yes.
So whatever remained after the collateralization, they have capped it. They will give you 15% or 17%.
Yeah.
The rest is channeled to constituent fund for other purposes. When we come, we are going to halt the collateralization and also halt the capping and free the GET fund of all encumbrances so that the money will be left for education funding. That's one. And apart from the sustainable source of income from the oil revenue, the GET fund will be decollateralized and also decapped.
So it serves its purpose.
For the purpose over there.
Right.
Then, if you look at the government machinery,
yes,
we have people like Director of Communication, Deputy Director of Communication, Communication Officer, all kinds of people.
Special Assistant to the
deadwoods,
CEO.
doing practically nothing. They are deadwoods. Beyond what they do is to serve as social media landguards, sharing out fake news over there. And if this year I've learned that they've budgeted about 2.3 billion for the government machinery. When we can will cut down all those deadwoods from the government machinery, reduce the staff over there, so that the savings that will be made in reduction of those unnecessary staff over there can be channeled to funding all our
So if I get you, cutting down of waste,
yes,
I mean where monies are not meant to be, and then channeling it into areas like you've talked about, will be the way to be funding some.
Yeah, but this waste is specific to the government machinery.
Government machinery.
Other sectors where the waste have to be cut are also there.
Yes.
But government machinery have to be cut down, reduce the number of appointees over there, and also reduce the expenditure over there. Money will be saved for funding this.
So this whole cry about there's no money in this country, it's about cutting down waste.
Money is there. Let me finish. I'm not finished there. There's also this. James has said that he's going to reduce the number of ministers, not more than 60. We started about 155 in this government. Then it came down to about 80 something now, 84, 86.
Yes.
We're going to cut it down to 60. There will be savings because the accommodation of these ministers, the vehicle, the payment, and so forth. When you cut down to 60, the remaining ministers that you have not engaged, the man they'll be saving in that regard.
Wow.
And used to service our funding. Then we also Operation Recover All Loot.
Right.
You know, money is found under the beds of people, dollars and euros. Some are even storing them in their polytanks. We've learned.
Yeah.
So we're going to investigate all those. Man said that this National Cathedral, the SML loan, there are many things that they've done. We will retrieve all this money under that operation, recover all loot.
But on that score, are you not counting your chickens whilst they've not been hatched? I mean, because you feel as though, there's money somewhere and we are going to get it at all costs. What's the guarantee?
You know,
the wheels of justice grind slowly.
Yes, we appreciate the difficulties. For instance, if you look at the Auditor General's report, there are so many infractions by officials in government. That is also there. We also understand the judicial system. If you look at the way they are packing the courts, from the high courts to the appeal court to the Supreme Court, they are protecting themselves in the future. But let's hope that when you come, there are some judges with conscience who will understand that it is not, you are not there to serve a particular government, but to serve the people. And when the data or the facts are before you, you understand that you need to serve the nation rather than serving somebody who appointed you.
Okay, let's move to the second cycle institution and what your plans are. I mean, especially now that they say free SHS is a savior. You are saying that there are problems.
Yeah.
Ghanaians can testify anyway. So what's your solution?
You know, the free HSS, the way it has been implemented has brought a lot of challenges. One, infrastructure deficit. You have made education free at that level. That automatically means that there will be more people going to that level. Then you must back up with that or support it with infrastructure the development.
Yeah.
The GET fund that loan that the collateral, the money they collateralize, most of the structures are not. It's completed. They are still there. So what has the money been used for? It's okay. So that deficit has culminated in overcrowding in our classrooms, overcrowding in our dormitories, overcrowding in dining halls. People even go shift on dining hall.
Yeah.
That's what they brought. They brought the double track system, the traffic light, green, gold, and so forth. Now it has been given a Christian name by what? Transitional schools, where it's no more the color, but year groups. 2 year groups will be there. Even at technical college is happening. And so the double track is also there. Nothing about there. They also have the
you were explaining the transitional schools.
Yes.
Continue. We want to understand what is going
formally
on.
It was,
and then the solution you're bringing.
It was gold. The gold track will go from all the classes, Form 1, Form 2, Form 3.
Yes.
Do you get me? Now they've amended that. So that it's not the gold. But each maybe now currently Form 3s and Form 1s are in school. The Form 2s are in the house. Do you get me? So the entire form will be in the house. Why 2 in addition? When one form comes to the house, the other one joins them. That's the addition. So that's what they call now transition schools. no more. But it's a track. A monkey is a monkey, no matter how you have decorated it. It's double track. That's over there. Then also, we have inadequate funding of the free HSS. To the extent that if I tell you the debt, they owe the food supplies, the buffer stock, they owe stationery supplies, school uniforms. I have a ward in school. Supposed to be giving school uniform in first year.
Yeah.
It's only this term, second semester, that is giving the school uniform.
Wow.
I'm telling you. And they are supposed to supply a number of notebooks, exercise books. That one is not supplied. Some students have finished school last year without school uniform and notebooks and notebooks. Stationery, they are supposed to fund the examinations in the schools by giving the headmasters some money to buy stationery and so forth. They are not paying that money. So most schools now are asking the students, when they come to first year, to bring A4 sheets.
Yes.
To bring, how do you call it? Duplication sheets.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. My cousin has a ward in Wesley Girls. Wesley Girls of all schools.
Of all schools.
Last year, I attended a PTA meeting with him when the headmistress appealed for stationery for their mock examination. Because yes, in fact, virtually appealed. Without that, there will be no mock. So my cousin, I can mention him, his name, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. The finance officer of Winneba.
If you're okay to mention him, go ahead.
Dr. Colley.
Wow.
Sent to me 100 boxes of A4 sheets to give to Wesley Girls, which I went to donate on his behalf.
Wow.
Other parents also came in. So if a school like Wesley Girls, a first-class school, could complain of lack of stationery for their examination out of the other rural schools, we don't have strong parents to support them.
Like Royal Dromo Secondary School, Romidros.
So that's this.
How are they going to survive?
So that's a school, a first-class school, top school in Ghana, complaining of stationery. Sometimes even water, electricity bills.
Yeah.
Look, governments have absorbed those, but if you have the meter, if those who are on the postpaid, sometimes they'll come to disconnect you. Last year they disconnected most of them.
Yes.
Government has to come in. And Accra Academy was disconnected. Yeah. But those that have the prepaid, when the prepaid gets finished, sometimes housemasters have to contribute money to go and buy the prepaid because they are in darkness. Sometimes they levy the students themselves to go and buy the prepaid.
So it's a managerial problem.
Yes, sir. No, you see, you have absorbed it, but there's no dedicated. That's why we are suggesting dedicated source of funding the free HSS. There's no money for them. And if even pensioners' money are taken, okay, how much more? Their own source of funding. Yeah. So that's the difficulty over there. Then also have the poor quality of food. Now there's a corrupt system of food supply called the buffer stock. Even the first year that started, I wrote many articles because I was a headmaster. And I just retired then. You're supposed to supply maize, 100 kilograms of maize to the schools. They supply 62 kilograms. But you have to record as 100 kilograms. Beans, 100 kilograms, 50 kilograms, you have to call it 50. So if government knows that they're giving 100 kilograms of rice, all right, the wheelbarrow shows that. But the school haven't got it. The quantity of food will reduce. There are sometimes you have rice, but you don't have oil to cook the rice. You have corn, You don't have any other thing. So you give the people TZ in the morning, TZ in the afternoon, TZ in the evening.
Wow.
Some are giving porridge without milk, without sugar. Because the bachelor stocks companies don't give the food items to the schools. Again, I'm going to tell you the challenges and how we're going to solve them. So is it Napo's time? They allow the schools to secure weight, to weigh the things. Do you know what happened? The headmaster who insisted on weighing this thing was stabbed by the buffer stock.
Wow.
Yes. If you want to be too known, they will deny your school of.
So that's the reason we are not seeing agitation.
That's it. So all now whip into accepting the deal. If you want your student to be fed, accept the 62 kilograms of bags of rice at 100 kilograms.
If you don't accept,
if you want your sugar to feed your children, accept 15 bags of sugar for 20 bags.
Wow.
In a quarter of 20. That's what's happening in the system now. So that most students don't go to dining hall because they go. You are giving porridge without milk and bread. I heard of a parent that said that the child was in a school where they brought gari, and hot water, and asked you to bring some other thing to come out to eat.
Hey.
Yes. So that's what's happening now. The food over there.
Is it a school in rural Ghana or urban Ghana? The school that they were asked to bring gari in.
No. I don't want to mention it.
No. Without mentioning name. I want to know rural Ghana, urban Ghana.
It's not a grade 8, but a grade B school. Hey. I'm telling you. The lady was on television. 2 of them.
But the students that we know who are at the receiving end of these things.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really hard hitting, because I've been a student before, we've agitated before. When things are not going right, we agitate. How come we are not seeing the students demonstrate?
I wrote an article.
Why are they silent?
Article 2020, where a headmaster, close friend of mine, I went to him. He was having BP. The students came to me that they were going to have a demonstration. And he went down on his knee, begging them that if they did, be removed from office. In fact, he was telling them, like, I have a child in school like you. So consider your colleague student in another school. If I'm dismissed now, who cater for your brother? And he was in tears. The prefects had to go back to cancel the demonstration.
Wow.
So headmasters are not willing to endanger. Look, even if they themselves complain, what happens? They are removed from office or transferred.
Yes.
They will tell you that you don't have ability to manage your school. That's why the students are on strike. So everybody is cautious. No, Ghana now is hard. If you are dismissed, where do you get a job to do?
Absolutely.
So that's the fear in the system, the intimidation. Even in the manifesto, we are going to allow the masters to have their voice. So that's one thing that people we are not hearing over the distance. So what are our proposals? Who will abolish the double track and allow all students to go to school at the same time and vacate at the same time?
Are there no risk involved in abolishing the double track? Because I'm sure it's infrastructure issue.
Yes, so we're going to have an aggressive infrastructure. There are many processes they started which are abandoned because there's no money. As we are saying, we are going to decollateralize the GET fund. Do you get me? And also stop the decapping. Then free it of those encumbrances. The money available will now be used to complete those structures so that we can revert to the normal system of tracking.
Would the abolishment of the double track be a gradual thing, or it will be immediately?
No, we can't say immediate because the structures have to be completed. That's a good aggressive policy of completing those structures within 1 year, so that from the second year we can start all those things over there. It's not going to be immediate. If it's immediate, where are the structures? They are not there. We have to make sure that those structures are completed. And areas where there are none, we start. We build them as fast as possible.
But have you given yourself a time frame? To what end should we wait for this aggressive infrastructure development?
No,
to what point?
As soon as
year?
No, as you said, if we dedicate about say percentage of the oil revenue, the money has come. Plug it over there. If you are decollateralized and decap the GET fund, the money does come. Plug it over there and aggress. So it's not going to be like this family and friend where one contract is giving about say 20 or 40 schools to build. We have many people at a go. So as is happening in say wealthy girls, happening at Dwabo Ase.
New Royal Dwabo.
Okay. So that within a short period of time, these structures can be completed for the double tax to stock.
I get you.
And then we are going to decentralize the procurement of food items. We are no more going to allow any intermediary like buffer stock to supply food items to headmasters. We'll give the money to the headmasters direct. They secure their own food items in the quantity that they want and the variety that they want. So at any particular time, there is rice, there is oil, there is fish, there is beans, and so forth. So that they can plan their own distance. When they have that money, you know, how did we even think that somebody in the buffer stock is going to buy food from the market, he can give it to the school at a reduced price? He's going to ask his profit margins. He has engaged people. So he's not going to supply for free. The headmaster can go to the same market at Teshima and go and buy their rice, go and buy their beans, secure their own rice, and so forth. So that when they have that money, the food quantity will improve in the second cycle schools. We are also going to expand infrastructure, as I said, necessary schools. And those that don't have, we also give them infrastructure to allow them to.
And I heard President Mahama on Saturday talk about the fact that in every school building that you're going to put up, you'd ensure that there are facilities for teachers. Why is it so?
No, as I said, most teachers don't send posting to the rural areas, not only in the basic schools, even second cycle schools, because there's no accommodation. You go to my hometown, for example, for instance, most teachers are staying in town. Only the headmaster and the assistant headmaster are on campus. Do you get me? So if you put a teacher, say from central region to go and teach in my school, you go there, there's no accommodation. Some of the accommodation, you go to the rural areas, touch and so forth, crack. So they cannot stay there. So we are putting out a policy that every new structure that will be built in the schools, be it basic or secondary, there will be teacher accommodation. Then those that are there already without teacher accommodation will start building accommodation to attract them to go over there. That's one thing we're going to do over there. Right. Then we're also going to, as I said, educated source for the funding. The oil revenue will be set aside to do that. Then I was a headmaster. Most often, when you monitor the attendance of girls to school, some particular time of the day, a particular girl will be absent constantly.
Within the year.
So because of that, they don't have the money to buy the sanitary pads to put themselves. So we are going to resume. No, started it, and NPP was saying that we are going to take the bloods of these girls to go and do sacrifice, but it's a rare problem. So we're going to give them sanitary pads. Those are the JSS, and those are the primary school who are even mature. Some are elderly in the rural areas. Can have a girl about 30, 40 years in primary 6. So all those that are mature and in school, basic schools, in secondary school, we supply them with.
I've heard people, I've seen and read people mock why you even put that in your manifesto. Why do you have to put such a policy in your sanitary pad and ensuring that our girls are in school? People are mocking this policy on social media.
It is then to guide us on our program and for the country to hold us accountable if you don't do it. If you don't put it there, you don't do it, nobody holds it accountable. But it's a contract between us and the Ghanaians. They're going to do that one. So that your girl in the house, you don't sit back at home that you have not got money to buy them. And you know, they're even taxing sanitary pads.
Yes.
You remember?
Yeah, they were.
There are agitations from women groups to remove the taxes.
That's right.
They still maintain it. So we are going to make sure that the pads are supplied to this. My children are only girls. In fact, I have only one boy.
Wow.
So I would be glad to see my girl not sitting in the house because there's no sanitary pad.
But will it be on needs basis, or every girl in school is going to benefit from this free sanitary pad policy?
Because
there are parents like, I'm sure yourself, who can afford to buy sanitary pads for your girls. And there are some who can't at all, and for which reasons some of the girls have had to stay back. So will it be on needs basis, or you're going to do it for all?
You know, there are many children who are being handled by single parents. Okay? Many single parents. Even in rooms where they are distant, they depend on how close they are to their parents.
Yes.
Some may feel shy to even tell their parents that they are in the period.
True.
They can't come and ask you for money to buy a sanitary pad. So you may be rich, all right, but there may be a gap between you and your daughters. So we're not going to discriminate against anybody. If you supply, the guy tells us that, oh, I have some already, they can dash it to other people who don't have. But you're not going to be selective in doing that. Because how do you find out whether the rich man is financing the daughter? He's not neglecting the daughter in any way.
But we are in an austerity time,
yes,
where we don't just need to throw away money.
That's what I'm saying. That
so if people can afford,
why
give them extra?
I have outlined to you the areas of funding.
Yes.
So about six or seven of them. As I said, they get source from oil revenue. Okay, the cutting down of expenditure, necessary expenditure, and also special scholarship schemes for the students.
I get you.
My brother, there's money. The money is in private pockets. You get me? You see, it appears every aspect of governance has been commercialized by this government. Anything that they will do that does not give them money in their pocket, they are not concerned about it. Look at the dialysis department in Kolibu.
Yeah.
Because you cannot go and take that money out, so nobody is interested in it. So we are going to, and your mama has said that it's going to chase every person, being in the previous government or his government, that's engaged in any shady deal. So the money is in the country, only that it's not being used for the purpose for which.
No, but my point is, the money that you're going to get and then use in buying these sanitary pads and provide these girls, what if there are parents who can afford? Why generalize it when you can identify those who can afford?
As I'm saying, we'll go on the assumption that everybody needs it. If a parent comes out that, oh, I can supply to my child, I can bet you, if parents who have the money will not supply. I can bet you there are many parents who are rich but irresponsible. Okay. So let us not assume that somebody is rich and will supply. It's a constant, some parents, they don't even visit their wards. Go to schools during visiting hours. They are mostly ladies visiting them. The men don't come. They are too busy. So you may have the money, all right, but even the knowledge, understanding that your child needs this part at this particular time is another. So we're not going to discriminate. But if in a school there are people who can afford, we can neglect them and pass it on to other people who need it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Okay. So at the second cycle level, okay, we are going to the inadequate funding arrears. As I said, we're going to ensure the disbursement of the money to the headmasters. Those that government, yes, for the feeding, they will get their money. The stationery, they'll get their money. The notebooks and the exercise books, they get their money. The school uniform, they procure their own items. So if they are procuring, we ensure that money is made available timely. You have heard headmaster Charles having press conferences or releasing press statements about the amount of money that government owes them. It is only when the frog dies that we see its length. Look, the debt I know is there. I was telling somebody that when we come, we have to descend to a depth below and lift the education sector from that depth to the surface before trying to address them. There are challenges, but I think that NDC has the men to confront those challenges over there.
Very well.
Then we also want to extend the free SHS to the private schools. There are many children who didn't go to the second cycle school or senior high schools, private schools, maybe because they don't get the school that they wanted. All right? And when you are supposed to do the self-placement. Self-placement is where you have only day schools left. And I'm in Ketekrachi. The school available to me is only as maybe Utuam.
That's right.
Middle Senior High School.
Yes.
And I'm placed there. The distance from Krashi to Central Region is too far. So no parent may like to risk the life of the child being on his own accommodation so forth. So the child may be enrolled in a private senior high school. So why do you neglect that child? So we're going to extend the free access to cover pupils in those private schools.
And all these are going to be funded by government.
Government, yes.
With no support from the private sector.
No. As I said, there's an arrangement for this scholarship for private sector to set up these funding sources,
right?
Through alumni associations and how do you call it? Corporate bodies.
That's right.
And the government itself, PPP, private partner partnership,
yeah,
to get this money so that you can make it available for funding education.
Because you are expanding
Yes.
the free SHS.
Yes.
And that's the reason for this.
Yeah, for that.
Wow.
Then again, you know, there's also another expenditure area which we feel that is not necessary. The free SHS secretariat. Different from the GES. The national, then at the regional level, also have free SHS secretariat. You go to the district, I don't know what they have over there. So that every aspect of senior high school is now being handled by free secretariat. We are going to integrate that secretariat into the GES. Instead of having to stand on its own. We're going to abolish that one and integrate the free SHS secretariat into the mainstream of the GES to handle all these schools.
Would you not be overloading the GES?
No, the GES, no, those days we have what you call secondary education department. They've collapsed it. Now they're giving the secondary education, the primary school education, or basic school. They made it what? School director of instructions.
That's right.
And giving that function of the senior high school, director of secondary education to the free senior high school.
Interesting.
So restore it, that's all. It's been there.
But I'm saying this because the narrative back then when they set up the free SHS secretariat was that this is the priority of this government, for which reason they need to set up an agency that would oversee the health and condition of the program.
So what is the health of the program now with that secretariat? The health is the poor food that we are getting now. The health is the debt, the arrears that they owe the headmasters. The what? The health is a double track, isn't it? So if the secretariat is not functioning properly, why keep it over there? I think that when you have the mainstream functioning of the free SHS in the GS structure, the management more.
What is it?
Because there, you know, there are educationists in that level. A director has part of the system approval. When you appoint a director of secondary education, you have an idea of secondary education. You brought somebody from outside, coordinator, FSS, Central Region, Eastern Region, so forth, who has nothing, nothing about education.
Wow.
Most of the secondary, so that's what the corruption is coming in. The corruption, whatever is there, is to ensure that their people are placed in the
good schools.
That's why we are going to even reform the computerized selection system to make it merit-based. They are not there to serve their interest. But you, the poor man, you suffer. That's why when your child does not get school, you are asked to self-place yourself. Then your child is from a category is placed in Central Region. So that's the reason.
Okay.
We'll integrate that free secretariat into the mainstream GS administration.
I was going to ask what's at the GES that will change the situation, but you made it clear that because there are educationists there, they'll make it happen. So are you saying that there are no educationists at the free SHS secretariat?
You know,
there are no experts?
You know, last time I had a interaction with my president, Nagrat, even had an audio where the National Inspector Division, okay, they are recruiting National Service to go and who are not teachers. To go, somebody said this something what? Marketing. To go inspect a professional teacher. So Mr. Carboni was saying that when they come to the schools to inspect you, reject them.
Well, you're marketing.
Yes.
And
yes.
Supervisor.
Somebody here don't remind themselves. No education background.
Wow.
So the people they are employing is job for the boys and girls.
Wow.
They're not taking the professionals to do that. Are you getting me? So most of the structures over there, if you go to the free secretariat, for instance, find out how many of them are educationists. They don't have the background. But because they are loyalists to the party, that's why they don't care. What they are there for is for their profit. Commercialization of the system. So we'll revert it to the GES that even if it's under the Director of Schools Instructions, that person is an educationist. You know about basic education and secondary education. They can cater for the needs of the school. You understand the headmasters. Most of them, the person has been a headmaster before being placed there. Or he has been this director before. So he knows the conditions that the schools face. So in that sense, you understand the challenges of the schools better than somebody who has not been in education.
All right. Let's move on. I'm sure that's it for the second cycle,
okay.
right?
So let's go
Unless there are others.
We
can move to tertiary.
Let's go to tertiary now. The tertiary...
And tertiary is broad.
It's broad.
You're looking at teacher training.
The traditional universities.
Training colleges.
Technical universities.
Yes, technical.
Colleges of education. Nursing training.
Yeah.
All those things. Okay. Now, we have what we call the no fee stress policy, whereby all students entering the university this year, be it the traditional universities technical universities or colleges of education or nursing training, the academic user fees are going to be absorbed by government completely.
How much will it cost government?
We need the budget about 270 million or so.
Wow.
The budget for that one, because we look at the trend, the number of students entering those in tertiary institutions, the when budget for it, and the amount involved, between 270 and 300 million cedis.
Wow.
A year, that will be done.
And source of funding?
I told you, refence the oil revenue, part of it, decollateralize the get fund, decap it. Do you get me? Then reduce the expenditure, the waste expenditure at the government machinery. Reduce the waste in other systems, like the free HSS secretary, for instance. Cut them off. Money will be saved for all this to be done.
How will it work?
The work, when we absorb the fees, we pay direct to the universities, not pass it to the students. The money will be launched in the accounts of each university. Then the number of students that you have, you get the number, then pay the money to the universities direct, not passing through the distance. So that those in the system, there will be what you call the student loan plus system. For their accommodation and other things, they will continue with that. And we're going to make it, enhance it so much. So that, now, my brother, since this publication of our names on the, that we are supposed to pay for education.
That's right.
I've got 11 requests from University of Education Winneba.
Wow.
For their school fees to be paid for them. I can show you some of them.
11 requests?
Requests for University of Education Winneba.
Wow. Some financial program anymore.
Yes. That
they should.
That I should help them.
That you should help.
Wow. Because I'm not registered for examination.
Wow.
This one said even money to buy fuel, buy rice and oil, they hasn't got it. But the loan scheme is there.
So why is it not working?
It's not working. They don't get the loans.
Why?
So we are going to ensure. But the money is not there. I'm sorry. The economy has collapsed. Under the so-called economic whiskies. It has collapsed. Pension funds are being taken. People are picketing at the Ministry of Finance. Yes. So the money is not there. It's in private pockets. So that's the issue. We will absorb the fees for them so they can enter those in the system will be given the loan plus to be able to cater for other issues that they need to take for. Then we also have what we call free tertiary education for all persons living with disabilities. They have disability already. I have a sister, our last born. It's in a wheelchair. He suffered polio when he was 4 years old. And he has got a child now also, has completed Maoli school. Also the disability. We are struggling to cater for them. I heard a lady speak on television last time that he is in Legon also. Paying the fees is difficult. One of this, and he has gone to the DC several times for assistance. No money is coming to them. You know the reason? Even these are semi-common funds have also they don't pay them well. They are arrears. So how can the DC even get the money to assist the person if he's willing to do so?
Yeah,
that's the difficulty. So those with disabilities, we make sure that they go to the university from first year to final year for free. Then we also have, going to the teacher training allowances. Let's training allowances. We are not going to abolish it. We're going to keep it there. Now,
But did you ever intend abolishing it?
No.
Teacher trainee, nursing trainee.
We only want to replace it with the student loan just because they become tertiary institution. No tertiary institution is taking any allowance. Now, if I'm trained as a teacher at the Legon or UCC, I'm not on loan. But I was at their congress at Kofreda, teacher trainees. We also made them as a party. And when I listened to them, they're being given, about 550 cedis a month. They're supposed to be paid for 12 months, but they are told that because they stay in school for only 8 months, they'll stay money for 8 months. Then that 550, there are so many deductions for feeding, for this. Whatever is left, about 125 Ghana cedis a month for them.
Wow.
I don't want 125 Ghana cedis a month.
Hey!
Multiplied by 8 months. Less than 1,000 for the whole year.
Say a year teacher trainees,
Yeah.
Omo catch you say, yet it's normal who do a free one. 550 no more general.
Yeah.
And I become 150.
125 cedis.
125
cedis. Even that one. The principals are asking for 50 cedis to be taken again for them to up their feeding because the feeding costs have gone high.
Wow.
Food inflation has gone very, very high.
Yes.
Therefore, we also need part of that 125 Ghana cedis for their feeding, for their negotiating with the principals for this. So, but you see, they have so much attachment to the allowance. They say they will follow that count when the money comes. It's just enough. So they are not prepared to let go. We agree for that. So that and they don't pay them for the whole year. So we are going to allow that to stay.
The allowances to stay.
And run alongside some loan schemes for them. Maybe if a semester we can give you 5,000 Ghana cedis for a semester.
It will make your allowance as a
No, you make your choice.
Oh, okay. So either some
the choice for you. If you can control to take the allowance, about what it means for you is only 125 Ghana cedis. Do you get me? After that you have to come and do national service for 1 year. Right, like session examination. If you don't pass, you are not taken. But we're going to limit all those things. The essential will be abolished and be integrated in their final examination while they are in college. We're going to abolish the national service for them. So if you even take a loan, say 10,000 Ghana cedis or 20,000 Ghana cedis, and instead of doing national service for 1 year when you are giving 700 Ghana cedis, and you are a teacher employed direct, you are taking about 2,500 Ghana cedis a month. You would have finished paying that loan with that excess money. Take the 700 from the 2,500.
Yes.
1,800 left for you. You can pay your loan. So we are giving them these options. You can be on the loan with that small allowance, that small amount left for you, or opt for the loan that will make you more comfortable. So we are running alongside a loan scheme, alongside the allowances for them to make a choice for funding their education. Then we also have bed for all, affordable. One other issue for the students at the tertiary level is their accommodation. Private accommodation where they are paying so hugely. So if you try to, Mama has said that we are going to negotiate with the universities. They have vast lands in the universities. So negotiate with them to relinquish the lands to private public partnership.
That's right.
With the hostels, and government will control the rent for them.
Okay.
So that the accommodation problem will be solved. So you have that one.
How would you control the rent?
No, if it's a private
hostel facility.
The government has provided the electrical connection to the area, water to the area, not your cost. Do you get me?
So you not carry the cost
to them,
to the students.
Because if you provide your own electricity, you provide your own water, your own sewage system over there, you add the cost to the student to receive your money.
Yeah.
But if government has partnered you and has given you the land, has given you the land, has given you
electricity,
water connection, then the fee should come down for the students to be able to afford. That's one thing.
And then this is why ready power.
Yes. Then the universities themselves, we also continue to establish the universities in all the regions. Now we have most of them. They have come to rename our universities. No, they've not given birth to any child though. Look at
University of Ghana that they recently wanted to rename.
And there was University of Development Studies.
Yes.
Navromo Campus.
Yes.
CK Tedam. They are renaming everything. You are not giving birth to a child, but they are renaming other people's children. We will continue to build the universities and make sure that the newly created regions also have their fair share.
So Mahama has 4 years.
Yes.
So within the 4 year space, how many universities do you intend building?
We'll commence the process. No, you can't. You see, I was just 3 years at a school as a headmaster. What I've done, my legacy there is more than somebody that remained there for basically 10 years.
Wow.
So it's not the number of years that remain over there. My mom was there in school for only 4 years. What they did, the terminal,
the previous 4 years,
the hospitals, the University of Ghana Medical School, these hospitals, the schools, the roads, within 3 years. I heard one of the communicators at Asafaji said that Jesus Christ was 30 years when he started his work. 3 years within his work. Even 2,000 years now, his name is still there.
That's right.
It's not the number of years that you have spent that, but you can be for 8 years, you get me, and still be inefficient. I've heard Mr. Dr. Baumia saying that Mama will not be accountable, but he will be the accountable because it's 8 years. He's telling you something. People are supposed to know. He's telling us that Akufo-Addo in second term now is looting the country. Because he's telling that you can loot when you don't have a second term.
Facing you.
Isn't it?
Yes.
So they are looting, he's telling you. Telling you also that when you also come, first term you will not loot, but second term you will loot the country. This is what he's telling people. But Mahama has been there. 4 years, the thing he did is more than whatever they have done in almost 8 years now. So, he has told you that within 14 days, his cabinet will be in place, isn't it?
Yes, he has.
Because he has been there before. He's not coming now to experiment, to find one. No, he has got his plan there already. He's not coming as a new president to find his way, his feet on the seat. So, trust him. He can do that.
So clarify this for us. When President Mahama says that, look, when I come into office, I would need a honeymoon-like experience. I mean, your opponents, those on the other side, the MPP, seem to think that Mahama is asking for a holiday.
No. He has told you that within 14 days from 7 January, within 40 days, cabinet in place. Is he in honeymoon? Will he be sleeping before appointing those cabinet ministers? He has given things that he will do within 120 days. It's not say after 120 days, so within, it can be 1 week, 2 weeks. So from that time to that 120 days, he will accomplish all those things that he has said. He's not going for honeymoon. He didn't say after 120 days. He said within. It's bravo.
That's right.
Just like I heard a girl saying that the professor would understand the 24-hour economy. 133. I heard one professor Yenso of one university also coming that they are there already. So they don't understand the English. They are professor, but they don't understand. He said within 120 days. He didn't say that after 120 days, he said there's a honeymoon. He will start working. So before 120 days, he would have achieved all those things that he wanted to do. Investigated a national criteria, start a retrieval of money looted from the country and so forth. It's not a honeymoon. You should understand the English within
120
from
days.
1 day to 120 days. That's what Mama is saying.
That's
not
what
honeymoon.
So after the 4 years, after Mahama's 4 years,
yes,
in terms of education, just recap what we are going to see, the sort of development that we are going to see under John Mahama.
The development, it's going to be a transformation. As I said, it's going to be a reset of the country. The country, every aspect of government is in chaos. So there's going to be a total reset, education, health, and so forth, in the economy. You know, the economy, the wizard has failed. So now they are shifted from economic policies to so-called digitalization.
Yes.
So we will reset the whole country, make sure that development comes in every aspect of the country.
Very well. We're wrapping up. Maybe your last and final words as we wrap up.
What I want to tell you, apart from the question that I've said, yesterday I listened to the security, where the press conference, where the Professor Bayo also presented the health manifesto. Then Lanchene also presented the security manifesto.
Dr. Park
Education. So we have plans for the country. Mahama has done it before. It's not an experiment president. It's not coming down to sit to think about how about to do. So I entreat everybody who is looking for jobs, who is looking for security for the country, who is looking for democracy to prevail, everything, good health facilities, to vote for Mahama. I was at the hospital. I should have brought this receipt. I was at hospital last time. I was given some prescription for nasal drops.
Okay.
I went there, I said I should pay 50 ECs before I get it. I paid it. Then they gave me an NAIS prescription. The stores that I used to buy them before people came to office told me that they are no more accepting those cards.
Wow.
So I bought the drug, 270 Ghana cedis. They have the drugs, but not accepting national health insurance again.
Wow.
Formerly they would say co-financing. If the drug cost 270, they say bring 170, and because the drugs, the health insurance cater for only 100 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
But now, totally rejected.
You're paying everything.
They have capped national health insurance. That the money that don't go to the health insurance. So vote for Mahama and things will change.
Very well. Kwame Alovi yada say ene obepotomu kama brofuna ni ya fine. Everybody say jumedi na. But I think the understanding is clear because you use very simple English to explain what the plans of John Mahama are within the educational sector. It's a normal way number who educational sector free basic level, equally tertiary level. Say a secretary also ko suku mu enko no omo beba beyi akwansidie nyina afiri ho se de be ya sika no beba ye fa ho emfa so die ene ye sika omo behwe na ye gina so na omo de abehye ehihye ahodo yi a omo abobobo so ni nyina achi wa bra omo hwe animu se educational sector no ebe sori agina ne na so ye gina nkomo yi so na ye de bibia ba na wie ye at least for na de nyame ya adom akina ye ba ye be sa abobodwa data ne adwendwen ye ba ho na nsɛm no dodoɔ na yɛpɛ ne pomasi brɛ medeɛ ne kwame nka agyemanie pa w'anie wɔde pa mid morning brɛ mu sisi ɛ ɛbɛtua kyena